Mariners beat the Angels in that series opener yesterday, 6-2, including 2 home runs from Cole Young. Game 2 today, 6:40 p.m. first pitch, 5:30 p.m. pregame show. And then as a reminder, there's an off day Wednesday before the series picks up for its finale on Thursday. Breaking NBA news this morning, LeBron James has informed the Lakers he will not play for them in 2026. Golden State remains an option.
Snapshot, brought to you by Miller Lite. When it's game time, it's Miller time. From the Quantum Fiber Studio,
this is Bump and Stacy
on Seattle Sports.
Streaming through the Seattle Sports app and at seattlesports.com.
Now, here are your hosts, Michael Bumpus and Stacy Ross.
Here we go now.
I think Cole Young hit a home run 800 feet yesterday, Bump.
Yeah, they had it at 460, but
that doesn't feel right.
It don't feel right, don't look right. Get that man an extra like 10, 15 feet.
At least. I mean, I think maybe 460 feet, an extra 460 feet.
All right, now
I'm getting a little out of hand.
I'm doing a little much now.
No, it was a great night from Cole, and it was a great home run. That one especially. It stung immediately. You hear Goldie on the call, obviously, and you just automatically know that thing is gone, launched to the moon. However, I'm going to be picky here. I was really hoping that one of those home runs would come from Cal or Julio. And I'm glad that Jeff Passan was on Brock and Salk this morning because he said something that I've kind of been thinking about since then. He's talking about the lack of slugging.
Cal Raleigh at this point, it's nice that he's taking walks, but they moved him down in the lineup because he's not slugging. And this team, I think, is going to go at the end of the day as far as its ability to hit the ball over the fence. And when in the month of June, your 2 best home run hitting players are Dominic Canzone and Cole Young, there might be a problem hitting the ball over the fence.
I am not starting this show, Bump, with a bummer saying, it's cool, but I wish it was someone else. What I am doing.
You just did.
I know, but it's for a reason. What we are going to do here is talk about what over the next, let's say, week or 2, which is a tiny sample size in baseball, we will be tracking closely that can actually tell us something good. We asked this question of Adam Jude yesterday when he was on with us, where we said, hey, look, and it was prior to game 1, the Mariners could beat the Angels 11-1 tonight. It doesn't really tell us things are fixed. So what things might? And that's where I want to start. Because one of the things that it's great to get a win. So glad this team did. And it was a comfortable win, by the way. It was not kind of you're grinding it out, you're hoping Munoz can hang on. It was a solid win. And we will talk about everything we love from it. But one of the things that I'm going to be watching for tonight, Thursday, over the rest of next week, is going to be slugging, but in particular, where that slug is coming from. Cal and Julio.
Big ups, good win last night, but like I said in our email, I'm like, that's cool. You got to win.
Mm-hmm.
You beat the Angels. Big ups to Cole Young for 2 bombs, Canzone for doing his thing. Cal did drive in 2 runs. I mean, they did some things that were good. Kirby looked good, so good win. Let's see more. What am I looking for?
Mm-hmm.
Just winning. And I think if you could win these next 3 series, to me that means that Cal has to contribute. I don't think you win 3 series in a row and Cal doesn't contribute. Okay. I don't think you win 3 series in a row and Julio doesn't look good. I don't think you win 3 series in a row and the pitching doesn't look good. I don't want to ask for a certain type of win. I don't want to sit there and say, yeah, nice win, but I prefer if A, B, and C happens. It's going to happen. Every game's going to have a different identity, and how someone contributes is going to be different as well. Maybe Cal doesn't contribute with bombs. Maybe he drives runs in by hitting 1 in a gap, 2 in a gap. Maybe Julio doesn't hit bombs. Maybe he has a 3 for 4 a day, a stolen base, and they're manufacturing runs. Look, we know this team is built for the long ball, and that's what they do. If they don't hit the long ball, they don't win ball games. Mm-hmm. So if they win these next 3 series, that means somebody's hitting the long ball, whether it be Dom, Cole, Cal, Julio, Randy, Naylor, somebody. At this point, I don't care what the wins look like. They just have to win. And if that means that we get contributions from someone else, so be it. But in the grand scheme of things, 3 series wins, there's no way Cal and Julio and these guys aren't contributing.
I hear what you're saying. I think I do, and it's shocking because it's like a beggars can't be choosers. I do care what the wins look like. and I know that you're going to be like, look,
Okay.
wins themselves do a lot for vibes, for a team, for momentum, for confidence. Like, I understand fundamentally that that's true. But if you were to say, hey, you have 5 home runs in the next 2 weeks, all of them are from Cal. Or you have 5 home runs in the next 2 weeks, one's from Dom, one's from Randy, one's from Ray, like whatever. Which of those is making you feel better about the direction of this team this year?
See, I like how you try to set me up to say what you want me to say.
Because I know
You
that
want
you
me
agree.
to say. You want me to say.
Because I know
If
that you
Cal's
agree.
not, here's the thing, because I'm looking at, I think I'm not mad at your direction. I
Thank
feel
you.
that. I feel that. But this is where I'm at. I think that Cal needs a break from the pressure. I think that it's better for this team. If, yes, I'd love for Cal to hit 5 bombs. If he does, I feel a lot better about the squad.
Yeah.
But I think that's not where Cal is right now. So me looking at, excuse me, the way that Cal is playing and being like, oh, I want these 5 home runs. I think that's just a stressful way for me to watch this game.
That's fair.
I think that it can happen, and I would feel better if it happens, but I think this team at this point of the year and who they are, it's like, just get some dang wins. Be scrappy.
I hear what you're saying. And to be fair, at this point, with what Cal's season has been, seeing Cal not chase and seeing Cal get to full counts and seeing Cal get a 2 RBI single is a good enough outing for Cal right now. Like, I totally get that. I just think this season runs through how successful Cal and Julio are this season will determine how far the Mariners get. And you being General you, can say, oh, well, there are so many other players that are important. Yes. But I think that Jerry and Justin very clearly built this team with those 2 players
For sure.
bearing the brunt of the power and production.
Yeah. Remember when they built the team to play small ball and put the ball in play, and then they came out and hit bombs? And then it's like, all right, well, that's what they are now. They're a team who hits bombs. So then we come into the season like, okay, they're a team who hits bombs, which they were at some point. I believe they're still top 10 when it comes to home runs out the squad. And we know that if they don't hit home runs, they don't win. So to me, it's like, as long as they keep some of their identity the way that we think they are built, I'm fine with it.
Yeah.
And if that means that Cal hits 5 and Julio hits 2, so be it. I like that. That is better for the team. But right now, I feel like they're just in a run. It's like when we're in football terms, when things aren't working, what do? You just run the ball. You pound the ball, you run it, and eventually things are going to open up. That's where I think this team is right now. So that's the way I watch the game is if Cal and Julio go nuts, for sure that's better for the squad.
Yeah.
But am I watching this game and I'm disappointed if they don't go nuts and someone else does and they get the win? No, because eventually I think that they're good enough, these 2, Cal and Julio, to where when it gets to those moments, that they're going to perform, but this buys them a little bit of time. So that's why I'm like, look, I just want the win. Cal goes crazy, for sure he's back, but I think they can still win ball games without him being that guy.
I do too, but I'm going to be even pickier and say I want the fine print of a win. That in a tiny sample size, you can take almost nothing from a week sample size in baseball. There's almost nothing that you can pull from that week and make any statement about. But I think that certain types of wins make me feel more confident that this team can make a push in October than other types. I love that Cole Young is producing and has surpassed my wildest expectations. I will feel better about this team if Cal does. Someone texted in, y'all are funny, thank you. Cal and Julio contributed by not hitting homers. They hit homers, you say we need to find other ways to score. That's not what either of us are saying.
I don't think we ever said that.
No. I think that Cal and Julio contributed. I would love for more slugging from Cal and Julio.
Mm-hmm.
I think that this team's ability to get to a World Series depends almost entirely on that starting to show up in your offense. Like, if it doesn't, I don't feel confident about their chances to do that, barring this team acquiring Tarek Skubal and having a number 1 combined ERA in baseball. I am perfectly fine with this team generating hits everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
And if it gets them wins, singles, fine, cool, whatever. But, like, I think that it is fundamental to how they want to win that slugging starts showing up.
Yeah, I mean, that's what they've shown. When they win ball games, the slug is on point. the bombs are being hit. And that's what we saw last night. But what we also know is that when this team is at its best, Cal and Julio are the main corpus when it comes to hitting bombs and slugging and all that good stuff. So I'm with you there. I think eventually I need to see that. I think right now I'm kind of like, well, you just lost your first place in the division. Pitching has been up and down with a couple of guys. The lineup has been weird at times. I'm seeing names that Rucker, Simpson. I'm seeing guys play that I'm not used to seeing playing. So at this point, I'm all right, just get some wins, build some momentum, and I think that eventually the bats that we know we're going to need later on in the season are going to show up.
All right, give me something else that over the next, I'm talking a small sample size, 1-2 weeks. If this happens, you're like, I do feel better. I do think you can take this and kind of run with it and feel good about it.
Decision making from Dan. Just Dan putting what I
love
think
that answer.
The right guys coming out the bullpen, not putting Rucker and Simpson in those situations like he did the other day. Allowing Bizzardo to go an inning or two. Using Munoz, man, hey, I don't care. Eighth, put him in there. We need you right now. Getting these guys to understand that you might have to tweak your game or your contributions to this team according to what we need at this point. And Dan making those decisions. Is he going to make every decision perfectly? No. No manager does. No coach does. But consistency when it comes to that and allowing the guys that we depend on naturally to kind of go an extra inning or two. Mm-hmm. I liked that Kirby went to the eighth, 100 pitches. Yeah, push him. You know what that bullpen look like right now? Push him. So that's what I'm looking for.
I love that answer. And the whole point of this entire conversation isn't to say we only want wins if they come in a certain way. It is to say, all right, if we zero in on specific things we can track for the next 2 weeks that could tell us something real, what are they? Mm-hmm. And I think that, both you and I, I'm guessing, think that there are specific things that can carry more weight than just the W itself. Mm-hmm. The W itself is great. It does a ton. But an 8-1 win with contributions from, kind of like 7, 8, 9 is great. I feel almost better about a 5-3 win with home runs from Julio and Cal, great decisions from Dan, smart management, great outing from Munoz. I feel really good about that win. All right. I have a couple more here. You know what I keep thinking of? I'm glad that you mentioned Kirby. I keep thinking of that killer instinct coming from Adam Jude yesterday. Mm-hmm. I think that's a great thing to watch for over the next 2 weeks. And I was watching for it tonight going, where's the dog? Who's got the dog in him tonight? Kirby.
Let's put him away.
Kirby did. Those last 2 outs especially. That last out especially got that dog in him.
Yeah. No, that was good to see. You want to see that that composure, that killer, that precision, and that just I'm going to get after you. And that's what I think we really loved about Kirby when we first saw him, when he got his first start. I forget where exactly he was. His family was in the crowd. It might have been East Coast. He's from the East Coast, right? We made a big deal out of it. And that's what we loved about him is that all those guys in this rotation have that look. Probably the calmest one is Castillo, and even he shows it a little bit. But we wanted to feel like there was no fear, and I'm getting after these batters, and that's what I felt last night.
Let's see. Do you have another one that you're watching? I've got one more but it's not mine.
Base running. Just clean up the base running.
That's
just let's look like we know what we're doing out there.
Okay, we're looking for good base running. I'm looking for specifically slugging from Cal. You're looking for wins and what that can do emotionally. Both of us looking for killer instinct. And I'm going to also throw on this one from Ryan Rowland-Smith that I think can be really telling. He said building on leads late. He was on with us last week and said, look, if you're going to run into issues against a starter, sometimes you're just going to run into good rotations, but keep pushing to add late. And that kind of is what Cal was saying with, playing a full 9. Mm-hmm. That get to the bullpen. And when the pen comes out, don't make a guy with a 7 ERA look like Tarek Skubal.
Please
don't.
And thank you.
And you're welcome. Let's get to headline rewrites.
Extra, Headline rewrites.
We must make headlines.
The real story behind the headlines in today's news.
Powered by Bay Alarm Security Services.
With Bump and Stacy.
Headline number 1, bids were due to the NFL yesterday for the sale of the Seahawks. What's the real headline?
And if this is news to you right now, you couldn't afford it. I didn't know. No one thought to tell me that I needed to place
That was
my bid.
yesterday?
What? Oh, God, I missed the deadline. This is just a whole other world that we don't. I'm like, who's the owner? Just announce that news. Tell us when that's coming out.
Now you got three groups kind of leading the charge. You got the alternate governors of the Celtics, minority owner of the Giants, then Todd Bowley, who owns a piece of the Lakers. Look, let's just get this thing done, and so we can move on with this, man. I would love to see what changes this owner or these owners could possibly make. Hopefully not too many. There is a system that has been working over here. You are the Super Bowl champions. I would lean on John and McDonald when it comes to what things you want to tweak. It's more about just investing in your product, which is the players, making sure that they are ready to go, they're taken care of, physically, mentally, all that good stuff. But 9 to 11 billion is the going price. We'll see where it lands.
What do you think bad owners do in the NFL?
Insert themselves in coaches' meetings, have press conferences after the game.
Like just try to control absolutely everything.
Owners should just be in the background. You know, I understand basketball owners kind of being out there because you can literally sit courtside and get the camera on you and all that good stuff. But for the most part, man, owners praise the coaches and the players and play the background.
If I was an NFL team owner, I'd ask to sit on the bench. Let me sit
Like
on the...
Carly Ursay Gordon?
Exactly. No. Full uniform, like Brady when he was
wow.
a Little League coach.
Don't knock it until you try it,
wearing
man.
cleats, and I want it to look like Little Big League, and I want to be allowed to sit on the bench as the emergency backup third string punter.
You would look like one of the characters on Little Giants.
That's what I would do. I would
Get
do
the
the most
Dave Wyman era shoulder pads.
Listen, if I was a team owner, I would do the most ridiculous things. That's the rule number one, is that I got to be allowed to be on the bench as an eligible player during a game. What's next? For the love of
Headline rewrites.
Headline number 2, LeBron James has informed the Lakers he will not be returning to them next season. What's the real headline?
Who gets Bronny in the divorce?
What is going to happen with Bronny? He better take Bronny with him.
Bronny's contract, no joke, yesterday became fully guaranteed for the upcoming season.
Oh,
so
no.
Or maybe
he's on the books.
Well, maybe
Wait.
it's good that he stays and he becomes his own man.
Did LeBron purposely wait until Bronny's contract was fully guaranteed from the
Probably.
Lakers?
Probably.
Yeah. LeBron's smart like that, man. He's I'm gonna take care of my son.
It's only $2.3 million though for Bronny next year. That's pennies in the
As
end.
a
He's got a kid
as a
now to think
19-year-old
of.
though. Woo!
Yeah.
Yeah.
Goodness gracious. Nah, thank you, Bronny. I appreciate your time, your service, man. Brought us a championship in the bubble, 8 years. Averaged 25 points a game, shot over 50% from the field. I never actually have cheered for anything LeBron has done because the Kobe in me won't let me do it. I've appreciated it, but I've never stood up after LeBron did something like, yeah, let's go. Never. And I will never do that. But I appreciate your time here, man. Go ahead and move on so I can actually buy into my Lakers again and show my love.
Who do you let yourself be most a fan of now in the NBA?
Anthony Edwards. I know he's the worst part is he's a piece of you-know-what off the field. Like baby mama drama. Like he's probably not a fun person to be around off the field.
Or maybe too fun.
Yeah, maybe too fun. But he be getting into stuff.
Yeah.
But on the field,
Yeah.
Anthony Edwards all day.
Curtis, what about you?
Favorite player to watch in the NBA
Because
right
both
now?
of you kind of have rules about like the limits of your rooting, especially
Yeah.
with like wearing jerseys or anything like that. But like, who do you let yourself be straight up like, I am a fan of this guy?
I mean,
like,
prior to the NBA Finals, Victor Wembanyama was pretty jaw-dropping in his talents, but then he just became so whiny in the finals. It was just like, dude, get it together, man. You're costing your team a shot at a title here.
did the finals change your guys' perception of Victor Wembanyama?
I see him more
He's still young, though. He's
As
like
a,
21, 22.
Dirty player.
he antagonizes people.
Yeah.
You know, he is kind of dirty, which, listen, I can appreciate a dirty player. I mean,
Yeah.
I think every team needs that guy. And he's kind of like a mafia boss out there. I mean, he's got hits out on dudes, whispering in people's ears, saying, go get that guy. I appreciate that about him, but he did seem a bit whiny towards the end.
Curtis, I cut you off before you said the guy that you still like pretty actively. Was it Victor, and now you're kind of waiting?
I mean, I respect the heck out of like Jalen Brunson being able to do what he did, and also
Yeah.
quiet the doubters of the little guys in
Definitely.
the NBA, because a lot of people are just kind of like, oh, you can't, win if you're under 6'4" is like your team's number one option. Sure enough, he did. I will say, Steph Curry is still incredible to watch, even at age, I think 37, 38 now. Like, and a lot of rumors pointing to LeBron James wanting to join the Golden State Warriors. The fact that Steph hasn't had to leave in order to attract all these superstars, I think says a lot about his personality and how guys really enjoy playing with him.
From the 509, but did Wemby slice his teammate's finger after jumping out of a closet? Find out what
We'll get to that
joke
in the
is referencing
timeline.
in the timeline. What's next?
Headline rewrites.
Just guys being guys.
Dudes being dudes.
Boys will be boys.
Bros being bros.
Headline number 3. Pair of stunners in the World Cup yesterday. Paraguay eliminating Germany and Morocco beating the Netherlands in penalty kicks. What's the real headline?
I think by beating Paraguay 4-1 in group play, we can definitively say the U.S. has passed Germany as a soccer
That's
nation.
right.
Simmer down now.
We
Yep.
do it the right way over here.
That's all I have to say about that.
You know what? I respect that win 4-1 that the U.S. had, but you know what that's like? That's like week 1 of NFL football. So you don't really know what's going to happen. So you come out and you got slapped by the U.S. And Paraguay's a good ball club. They did beat Germany. I love what's going on in the World Cup. You got some of the powerhouses going down. Germany, you got the Netherlands, who have never not made it to the round of 16 going down. I love it. That was the most invested I've been in any other country yesterday than I've ever been watching any type of international game. That was great. I love seeing the tears, the passion. I got a friend who's Germany, had to apologize. I gave it an hour, though. I didn't call him up too quickly. I gave it an hour and then let him have it. But yeah, I like what's going on. It reminds me of kind of when we felt the world caught up to the U.S. when it comes to basketball. This is what I'm feeling. You got 9 out of 10 African countries who advance. You have Morocco beating a powerhouse. You have Paraguay beating a powerhouse. Japan almost got Brazil. This is great for soccer.
Who's the, I don't want to say weakest, but maybe most in trouble of the remaining like power teams, like favorites? So I'm not including the U.S., but I'm
So upset
talking
alert.
Argentina. Yeah, who's on upset alert?
All right, well, Argentina ain't
Argentina.
losing to Cape Verde. Spain's not losing to Austria. Ecuador, Mexico's going to be a great game. France ain't losing to Sweden. I think everything else is going to fall in line. I think Ivory Coast can give Norway a run for it. They're on right now. But everything else, I think, will fall in line. I think Belgium, Senegal is going to be a good game. People assume that Belgium is going to advance. Senegal's super athletic. It's other than that, I think everything will happen the way it's supposed to happen.
In a bad AL West, falling to second place in June hardly means the Mariners will miss the playoffs. But are they still legitimate World Series contenders? The latest from Jeff Passan next.
Seattle Sports, home of Wyman and Bob.
Is Sam Darnold worth $55 million a year?
Afternoons 2 to 7.
I think he's worth it. I do too. That's going to be a low-sounding number here very quickly. He's not an ego guy who's going to be, let me cook, let me chuck it all over the yard. I don't think he is going to think, hey, I deserve $55 million. I think he's willing to work for that. Similar results next year, then we'll start talking about that.
Watch live or later on the Seattle Sports YouTube channel.
Hey, Brock Ewart here for my friends over there at People Come First Construction Group. You know I love my acronyms, PCF. They designed and built our outdoor living space for Molly and I, and we just loved it. And right now, PCF is making it easier than ever to get started on your new dream deck with 50% off your custom professional design and architectural drawing package. That means you can save over $9,000 on your project. And with 12 months of no interest, no payment financing, you can design your deck now and pay later. You know, most people who start with a design package end up with the exact outdoor space they've always wanted and dreamed of. This offer is your first step. Do what we did and contact PCF Construction Group today. Get your project ideas, browse amazing photos, and find all the offer details at PCFgroup.com. That's PCFgroup.com.
Making your outdoor space your favorite place. With People Come First.
After years of wear and tear, Joe had osteoarthritis in his wrists and shoulders.
I've pretty much worked out my whole life. I actually decided I'm going to train for a half Ironman triathlon.
The pain was interfering with every part of his life.
Basically, can't sleep, causing those kind of problems, very limited movement.
Joe had surgery, but it wasn't the fix he was looking for.
The doctor told me, he's like, hey, this is just going to be a partial fix. You're going to eventually need joint replacement.
That's when he decided to see Dr. Mark Wagner, MD, at Seattle Sports and Regenerative Medicine for stem cell therapy.
And they're just getting better. I can can basically do full motion. I don't have really any pain.
What kinds of things are you able to do now that you weren't before?
I like to golf, and it definitely has made my golf game not as painful. And sleeping. I mean, I'm sleeping better because I don't have that aching at night going on and having to roll over.
So, are you recommending this to others?
Oh, everybody I talk to. Yeah, it's a no-brainer.
Before you choose surgery, consider stem cell therapy with Dr. Mark Wagner, MD at Seattle Sports and Regenerative Medicine. Schedule your consultation at drmarkwagnermd.com.
Your neighbors at Three Tree Roofing love telling you no. No high-pressure sales pitches. No Band-Aid fixes that will fail come wintertime. No outrageous pricing from some corporate-owned roofing company with headquarters thousands of miles from here. Three Tree Roofing is local, family-owned, and their team will build you a worry-free plan for your roof replacement, completely free. Visit threetreeroofing.com to schedule your free estimate and call today to say yes to an additional $500 discount. That's Three Tree Roofing, your Puget Sound roofing experts.
Stacy here. Sell your car to Wayscar Ford, and when they resell it, they share half their profit with you. That's right. Sell your car to Wayscar Ford, Isuzu, and Auburn. They'll pay you today for your car, and once they resell it, they'll share half their profit with you. WayscarFord.com.
Hey there, Dawn Riling from Olympic Hot Tub with exciting news. Our mid-year clearance event is on. You'll score big savings on all in-stock saltwater hot tubs and fabulous saunas. Plus, deep discounts on newly released floor model swim spas. These deals are incredible. But don't wait. Our mid-year clearance ends June 30th. OlympicHotTub.com. Better you, better life.
Olympic Hot Tub.
This is Rick Jones of Goldberg Jones Divorce for Men. As a family law attorney, I know firsthand the challenges and obstacles men face in divorce and custody matters. Our firm is committed to protecting what matters most, and we're on your team. Find us at goldbergjones.com.
Mariners and Angels tonight at T-Mobile. 6:40 first pitch, pregame at 5:30. Every pitch, every game, one app for free. The Seattle Sports app.
This summer, go electric and save big at Toyota of Kirkland. The all-new Toyota CHR delivers 338 horsepower, standard all-wheel drive, and up to 287 miles of range. Check out the Toyota BZ, the EV SUV built for the Northwest. Their expert team is ready to walk you through every feature. Take a test drive today and take that car home the same day. Visit their incredible showroom today at Toyota of Kirkland. Summer savings are happening now. ToyotaofKirkland.com.
For over 50 years, Bucky's Complete Auto Repair has been the one locals trust for honest pricing, expert service, and guaranteed repairs. This dedication has earned them a Carfax Preferred designation. At Bucky's, every customer gets detailed Carfax updates, timely service reminders, and a full service history, all at your fingertips. With 16 family-owned locations, no appointment needed, and easy financing, Bucky's makes auto care simple. Visit Bucky's.com today and drive with confidence. Bucky's.com.
Progressive provides protection for your boat and other outdoor vehicles so you can explore new things.
Oh, I can finally try pesto.
We meant like water skiing.
I've just never had pesto.
Or maybe take the boat somewhere new.
I mean, is pesto spicy or sweet? Oh, guess we'll find out, right?
Right. Bundle home or auto insurance with your boat, RV, or motorcycle and stay protected with Progressive while you explore.
I don't know. Maybe I'm not ready for pesto.
Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Not available in all states or situations.
If the world were like a Sleep Number mattress, everything would adapt for your comfort. Because as your life changes and your body changes, Sleep Number mattresses adapt and shift to give you personalized comfort night after night. And right now, new mattresses start at $1,500 during our 4th of July sale. Plus, get a free base with select mattress purchases. To experience a whole new world of comfort, visit a Sleep Number store or go to sleepnumber.com. Sleep Number, to a good life sleep.
From the Quantum Fiber Studio, you're listening to Bump Stacy.
Weekdays 10 to 2.
On Seattle Sports and 97.3 FM HD2.
Coming up in 15 minutes, we'll talk about some key Mariners injury updates that reporters got from Justin Hollander yesterday and what they mean for the Mariners right now. But first, the Mariners falling into second place in the AL West, a very bad division, does not mean the Mariners' season is over. It doesn't mean they're not going to make the playoffs. Let's be very real. However, has this season, which has been admittedly disappointing, led to anyone questioning whether the Mariners are legitimate World Series contenders? That's going to be the conversation we're having right now. Jeff Passan was on with Brock and Salk this morning, Bump, and they asked him whether or not the the Mariners still make sense as a contender, whether or not he still sees them as favorites there.
Yeah, I think they are.
Sorry, I want to preface. He doesn't say favorites, but as a contender is the first one.
I despite the fact that they're at 586 games into the season, when people ask me who the most dangerous teams in the American League are, I say the Yankees and the Mariners. And maybe I need to start giving a little bit more respect to the Rays because they have sustained this thing and they actually have a 1.5 game lead on the Yankees at this point. But I am not out on the Mariners, and I'm not sure I'm going to be, honestly, until they're out of the playoff picture. I look at Texas right now, and man, they are banged up. And I look at the rest of the American League West with the A's, and I think to myself, none of these teams is better than the Mariners. Like that's the thing about it.
How do you feel after hearing that? Because my mind has been changed, so I was kind of ruminating over that answer.
I still think they're contenders. I think when you look at just the American League and what teams are doing, they're still in the mix. You look at the talent-wise, they're still in the mix. And when I looked up ESPN's like preseason odds to win the World Series, you had the Dodgers, the Yankees, and the Mariners. The Mariners were the third, right, in their odds. Now, currently, they're still third. So the experts see the Mariners and see their struggles and think they're going to find their way out of it. That alone tells me that they're looking at Kyle Raleigh's struggles and thinking he'll find his way. That Josh Naylor not hitting the way that he did last year, he'll find his way. And that the rotation is going to be just fine. So I always lean on the experts of baseball, obviously, because I'm not that, and they know more about this game. I know the feeling that they're giving me right now. The feeling that they're giving me when I watch them play is, all right, y'all got some work to do. You know there's talent on this roster because when Julio is at his best, he is the best center fielder in his league. When Cal is at his best, he's one or two of the best catchers in the game. Because I've seen them reach or play at their potential, it gives me hope and it makes me believe that things are going to start clicking. But it's also hard for me to ignore what's going on right now.
Yeah.
But as the saying goes, that is baseball. You just said the past segment, 2 weeks ain't going to tell you too much. You hope that you see a couple indicators throughout those 2 weeks, but they got to put series after series after series after series together and ascend at the right time. You want to see a steady ascend, and that's what all sports is too, is playing, especially in a game where you're playing 162, right? Playing your best baseball at the right time. Don't worry about you can at times, the style points getting in.
Sure.
All right, you want to win your division. It can be an ugly win the division. So what? We won the division. We put ourselves in position, but you want to see them playing their best baseball at the right time.
I agree. And to be fair, Jeff does say, hey, that version of the Mariners does need to start showing up here pretty quick.
It's just, and I think the Mariners themselves feel the same way. It's just a matter of when is the team that maybe not even the team that we expected in spring training this year, but some version of that team. When are they going to show up? Because when they do, I think the Mariners have a chance to be a rocket ship. But here we are approaching July, and that still hasn't happened.
He's right. Both things are true. The Mariners are still capable of being one of the better teams in the American League. That is by virtue of both the American League being bad and also the Mariners being talented. Both things can be true. And also, the Mariners need to start being that team sooner rather than later.
Yeah.
I know it's June 30th, and we're at the halfway point of the season, and there is still a good chunk of the season left to play, but you can't turn it on September 1st.
No, you can't. I mean, some can.
Some can,
but
Rocktober.
you're not that team.
Yeah.
You're not that team.
I agree.
What we need to see is what we saw in July of last year, in August of last year. Was that last year when they won like 14 games?
Yeah,
it
was like the Tiger series. Yes, 14 games was the year before, maybe before that, but they did turn it on last year.
They won 17 of 18 at one point.
Was that was
in September?
August, September? Okay. But
yeah, so you need to see this flurry of talent kind of just expose themselves all at the same time. That's something that we just haven't seen. I haven't seen a couple of weeks or several series where Cal, Julio, Josh, Randy, everyone's just raking at the same time, or where the pitching is on point all at the same time. You get 5 or 6 consecutive starts. That's what you need to see before I start. I still believe, but before I start really just buying into what's going on. The talent is what makes me believe. The performance is what keeps me hesitant to really go on wholeheartedly in and saying they can get this done. I think that they can, but you can't ignore what you've been seeing. And that's what's so frustrating about this game is that at any moment you're waiting. You know what they're like? They're like that that bootleg firecracker you get from Boom City on 4th of July, where you light it, and it's like, oh man, that's a dud. Then bow, then this explodes and everybody's running for their lives. You know what I mean? That's what the Mariners are. Is you've already lit it and you hear it, it's not doing anything. You're like, oh, this is that. And you start walking towards it and it explodes.
Yeah.
That is exactly who these guys are.
So who
I need them to be.
You said, hey, I need them to turn on before September, because while some teams can do that, including last year's version of that team, I don't know that that's what this one's feel like. They need to start turning it on sooner. It is not only because we would just like to see it, it's also because the Mariners are going to have a decision to make before the deadline. Now, prior to last year's deadline, we were all saying, oh, my God, get Gino Suarez. It'll be so great. Do this. Keep adding power. Cal, you have to add something around Cal. But there was already a lot going right for this team. I know that people were frustrated. People were still, angry and reacting. There was like an ugly series. There were a couple of ugly road series. There was an ugly series against the Yankees, too. So I completely understand. But there was it felt like real incentive for Jerry Dipoto, for Justin to add at the deadline already. Just by virtue of Cal having that many home runs. It was like, you have to do this. The Mariners need to add that incentive now. That's what I'm saying. To your point about you can't just turn it on in September, you also should turn it on now so that the team feels pressure to add. This from Jeff Passan.
But at the same time, if you're Jerry Dipoto and Justin Hollander, you also have to ask yourself, has this team earned us pushing this season? Like, does it really make sense after the lack of what this team had shown us to continue on and give up future value? Or do we just not pack it in this year, but maybe not operate as aggressively as we might, because we might be, putting good money into a lemon? Because to this point, guys, that's what the Mariners have been. They've been a lemon. They haven't looked anything like what we expected when the season began.
Give the front office reason and add pressure to make this team better. And what's going to be a tough deadline, by the way, because there are so many teams still alive in the American League and in the National League for that matter. It's going to be a tough deadline. I don't know how many moves or big moves there are really going to be outside of clearly Tarek Skubal being kind of the favorite to be moved there. But players themselves need to improve sooner rather than later so that this team actually feels pressure to add. Give them a reason.
That's why they've added the last couple of years, right? Because around trade deadline time, they showed a pulse. They showed there's some life there.
Totally.
They showed that there's some potential. And then you look around the league and you're saying, all right, well, we're already one of the top 2 or 3 teams in our league. This move might put us over the top. Right now, they still are one of the top 2 or 3 teams in the league. They're just not playing like it, and the league is down. So this is a weird position for these guys to be in, because we know what they're capable of. And I know John, obviously Justin and Jerry understand that as well. It's just great performances or better performances will apply pressure and force them to do something.
You are listening to Bump and Stacy on Seattle Sports and the Seattle Sports app. We'll get back to more from Jeff Passan coming up a bit later in the 1 p.m. hour. Coming up next, we have a few key Mariners injury updates. We'll talk about what they mean for the team right now.
Seattle Sports, home of Wyman and Bob.
Is Sam Darnold worth $55 million a year?
Afternoons 2 to 7.
I think he's worth it. I do too. That's going to be a low-sounding number here very quickly. He's not an ego guy who's going to be, let me cook, let me chuck it all over the yard. I don't think he is going to think, hey, I deserve $55 million. I think he's willing to work for that. Similar results next year, then we'll start talking about that.
Watch live or later on the Seattle Sports YouTube channel.
Summer is here, and it's time to break through your weight loss frustrations. Hey, it's Dr. Coogan with Eastside Weight Loss, and we have a proven system that can help you lose 20 to 30 pounds or more in just 8 weeks. Whether you need a nutrition plan to complement your GLP injections, or you're like many of our clients who don't want to worry about ongoing monthly costs, giving yourself shots, or uncomfortable side effects. Either way, our program provides the support, accountability, and structured nutrition plan so you can achieve your results for the long term. Schedule your free phone consult at eastsideweightlossclinic.com.
Look, this plan does work. It's Mike Salk here, and I used Eastside Weight Loss Clinic to lose 35 pounds. Just recently, I heard about one of our listeners who lost 40 pounds. How about that? The plan will teach you lifelong habits to continue eating the food you love while losing weight.
We've helped over 4,000 people lose 20 to 30 pounds or more in just 8 weeks. Come to our clinic in Kirkland or do the program remotely from anywhere you live. Schedule your free phone consultation online at eastsideweightlossclinic.com.
Dr. Ryan Coogan, D.C. Results may vary.
Shopping for a new Mazda CX-30? Start at Mazda of Everett, the West Coast's largest Mazda dealer. Right now, you can finance with 0% for 36 months on approved credit. With over 80 new Mazda CX-30s in stock, you can compare colors, features, and options all in one place. You'll always receive the Mazda of Everett price. Shop Mazda of Everett on Highway 99 in Everett or online at MazdaofEverett.com. Based on Mazda USA 2025 sales numbers.
Get ready to rock. It's Hoobastank, delivering their high-energy sounds at Muckleshoot Casino Resort on Friday, July 31st at 8 p.m. Along with Eve 6. It's 2 incredible bands on one unforgettable night. Hoobastank and Eve 6 at Muckleshoot Casino Resort on July 31st. Get your tickets now at muckleshootcasino.com.
I'm Bradley Johnson with 1-800-DUI-AWAY. Let's talk about soccer. Serious passion, inhuman stamina, and yet exaggerated injuries. Soccer is one of the few sports where overtime is a little subjective. One thing we know is that many fans enjoy game day with craft brews. Be sure to keep a clean sheet. It's not worth trading in those bicycle kicks for riding your bicycle to work. When being pulled over for DUI, there are rarely yellow cards, only red. So play it safe and don't go off sides. Call 1-800-DUI-AWAY or go to 1-800-DUI-AWAY.com to schedule your free private consultation. If you're stopped for DUI midfield from home and there are no free kicks, make it your goal to call 1-800-DUI-AWAY.
1-800-DUI-AWAY!
Do you know a woman making a difference in Seattle's sports and events community? Someone who leads with purpose, mentors others, champions inclusion, and inspires those around her to be their best. Why Seattle and Seattle Sports want to celebrate her. Nominations are now open for the 2026 Women of Inspiration Award, recognizing an outstanding woman whose impact is helping shape the future of sports and events in our region. Submit your nomination today at woiseattle.org. That's woiseattle.org. Nominations close July 10th.
Mariners and Angels tonight at T-Mobile. 6:40 first pitch pregame at 5:30. Every pitch, every game, one app for free. The Seattle Sports app.
Do you owe $10,000 or more to the IRS like Will?
When I was 50, my whole life fell apart. I lost my job, I lost my wife, I lost the house, I lost pretty much everything except for my life. When the IRS came calling, I just didn't have it in me. I felt like Wile E. Coyote, just waiting for that IRS anvil to drop.
Then Will found tax relief advocates.
I heard their advertisement on the radio, I wrote down the number, and I made the call that changed everything. The IRS gave me a bill for $40,000. Tax Relief Advocates got that down to $3,200. I've paid 9 cents on the dollar. Now that's a great deal in anybody's book.
If you owe 10 or even hundreds of thousands of dollars to the IRS, don't lose hope. Do what Will did and call TRA for a consultation.
But for me, the real win is I got my life back.
Visit TRA.com or call 800-488-4194. 800-488-4194. That's 800-488-4194.
June is Men's Health Month. Swedish Cyberknife is encouraging men to break the stigma and talk about their own health with family members and medical professionals. Dave Wyman here. Find out about your family medical history, as conditions like prostate cancer can increase your risk. When detected early, prostate cancer has several viable treatment options. One of the most effective treatment methods for prostate cancer is offered at Swedish Medical Center right here in Seattle. Swedish CyberKnife requires only 5 short treatment sessions, each lasting less than an hour. It's non-surgical, non-invasive, and patients can typically maintain their usual day-to-day lives. This June, during Men's Health Month, make sure to place an emphasis on discussing your health with family and medical professionals. Ask about family history of medical conditions or disease. To learn more about CyberKnife for prostate cancer treatment, go to swedish.org/cyberknifeprostate. Treat prostate cancer with Swedish CyberKnife.
CyberKnife is a registered trademark of Accuray Incorporated and is used with permission.
From the Quantum Fiber Studio, you're listening to Bump and Stacy.
Weekdays 10 to 2.
On Seattle Sports and 97.3 FM HD2.
Getting to the Seahawks and NFL in 15 minutes. Before we do, today's pitching matchup brought to you by Eastside Exterminators. It is Brian Wu squaring off against Angels righty Jose Soriano. First pitch at 6:40 p.m. Pregame show at 5:30 is a reminder. While there is a third game in this series, it's going to be Thursday, not Wednesday. Talked about a key Mariners injury update here from Justin Hollander. Actually, I have a couple. Let's start with the latest on Brendan Donovan.
Brendan had a really good week last week, I think. I think last week was a big positive momentum builder, and just in terms of more good days than bad days, ramping things up. Was able to go through a full cage routine. Saw some video of him running the bases, call it 75, 90%, something like that. I'm probably not the best judge of how high the effort level was, but it was certainly more than just jogging. So good week. We'll try and build on that this week and see where we are after that. I'm loath to tell you here's a date for a rehab assignment. It's just this injury is really not conducive to me doing that. All it's going to do is we'll either start it early and people will say I undershot it intentionally, or they'll start it late and people will say I was pushing good news and over optimism. So let's just see where we're at the end of this homestand.
I can't tell if this is good or bad news. Like, no specific timeline, but he is doing additional work. Mm-hmm. I don't know what to make of the Brendan Donovan situation.
It sounds like they don't know what to do with it either. It sounds like there's probably been some progress and then there's a bump in the road or something like that. Maybe they're stalling, waiting to see what this team looks like. Who knows what's going on? But whenever you get an answer like this where nothing's definitive, where he is giving you something but nothing at the same time, it means that there's something wrong, to me at least. There's something wrong with the progress of Donovan's injury.
Feel good. I mean, it's not great that he had sports hernia surgery, is dealing with an oblique. Like, it's all kind of the same issue there. Curtis, a quick question. So if they're deciding, hey, we're going to check in on Donovan at the end of this homestand, then Donovan would presumably, maybe, in a best-case scenario, start a rehab assignment.
Right.
That's a minimum of 10 days out from that, right?
Yes.
Okay.
So we're still,
earliest possible return for Brendan Donovan would be about
the All-Star break.
All-Star break.
Yeah.
And that's the earliest possible return.
Right. And how many of us are feeling confident that he's going to be back as soon as possible? When it has not been as soon as possible with him for months now.
He's coming back this season, right? Like, nothing Justin said make you think.
I think so.
Okay.
I hope so.
I'm just making sure. I'm like, where are you guys at in terms of, like, your optimism level after that?
It's nuts how you and I, last week, we looked at Donovan and his stats from this season. It's like, man, he's been on the IL for a couple times. He's only played 7 games since mid-April. He was back for a week and then back on the IL. So they haven't had him for like 90% of this season.
A question from the 206, was Brendan Donovan doing anything good before he got hurt? I honestly don't even remember.
Yeah,
yes.
he was
one of their better bats, and that's why this is so tough, because you're kind of wondering, like, this could be, it's not like he's a fantastic or natural third baseman. He's not. But he was bringing contact. I think he was OPSing close to 1,000, maybe slightly over. That's why it's so frustrating, because they added him as a good leadoff hitter to bring contact, and that's what he was bringing them.
Yeah, defensively, he was in a weird spot, right? He can play third base, but that wasn't his natural position. Now we got JP over there. Emerson looks like he's the shortstop for infinity and beyond. So if he were to be healthy, I think you would rely more on his bat than anything else. I think when it comes to the outfield, You got guys who are solidified, who've gotten these reps. But you can always use an extra bat. And that's, you said, he was hitting for contact, OPS, and all that good stuff. But at this point, I'm not even thinking about him, right? And that's the harsh reality about sports, is that if you are injured, and especially for an extended time, at some point, you are no longer in the plans. You got to roll with what you got. As jacked up as it is, the messing thing about football is a guy will get hurt at practice on one end of the field, move to the other end, keep practice going, the trainers will get him. Like, that's the way you got to think with Donovan. It's like, all right, well, he's not here. The possibility, and then when he comes back, how quickly is he going to be able to get back into the swing of things? We've seen this story before. Cal had to come back and then struggle and kind of get in the swing of things. We have several players have to do that. Reality of sports is, if you're not available, you're not really on the mind of the decision makers. But I hope he's fine. I hope he comes back with enough time to where he can get into the swing. But what if he comes back and this team is just on a run? Like, do you sacrifice throwing him into this mix? That's what I hope this situation is, that this team's playing so well that when if he does come back, we're like, look, we don't need you right now. You just sit there, be a coach.
We'll pinch hit you.
Yeah, and if we need you, we'll throw you in some situations.
Let's check in with 2 more updates here. First, the latest on Matt Brash and also Cooper Criswell.
I'll start with Brash and Criswell because they're kind of tracking together. Those guys are going to have follow-up MRIs on the 6th of July, and we'll see where they're at. I feel like I always repeat this. However long you're down is roughly however long it takes to get you back. So we'll see what the scans look like on the 6th. Again, I would anticipate August as a reasonable time frame, and probably closer to the middle or the end than the beginning, depending on how long they're down running from. So we'll have more info next week on that.
So once again, sounds like a kind of a post-All-Star break ad there for Brasher around the same time. Now, the good news is you're going to have, in theory, some reinforcements coming for your team, but oh my God, I hope they don't lose anyone else here. I hope that they start trending toward health because they've had some rotten luck. I have one more here. They did place Rob Refsnyder on the IL. Here's Justin.
Rob Refsnyder is going to go on the IL today. We have to go through some paperwork. He had injections in his knees last week. They have been bothering him for quite a while now. I know he's referenced that a couple times when asked about it. He's not making an excuse in any way, but I think we're to a point where he just doesn't feel like his foundation is stable enough to do the things he needs to be able to do. So he's going to go on the IL today. Buddy Kennedy is here and will take his place on the roster. I would imagine Rob will head to Arizona sometime in the next couple of days and just take some time to start strengthening his lower half and see if we can work through the pain in his knees. But that is why Buddy is here.
Look, I'll say this, Bump. If you are not going to move on from Rob entirely and are going to be pretty stubborn about using him, at least let him get healthy before you try to run that out. You know what I'm saying? At least then make one of those shots you're taking with him close to 100%. If he's getting shots in his knee and he's playing poorly, let the guy try to get a little healthier and take a mental break.
Yeah, he needs that.
Mental break for sure.
Definitely needs that. The physical, the mental. We talk about him all the time, so imagine how he feels when he gets up in the batter's box. There's nothing like going to work and not feeling confident about your capabilities of executing at a high level when in the past you have done that. He knows his role on this team. You are here to hit lefties, and you are just not doing that. So I'm with you. If he ain't 100%, no need to rush him back. You know why? Because he ain't been balling. If he were crushing lefties the way that he wants to, we'd be like, all right, we need you. Come on, let's get back. Hey, we'll take a day off here, take it off here, but we need you. At this point, go ahead and relax, get healthy, and we'll get what we can out of you.
How do the Seahawks get back to the Super Bowl, and who from the NFC might be standing in their way? That's coming up next with NFL Network's Isaiah Stanback.
MLB Network insider John Morosi with Wyman and Bob.
How do we assess this Mariner team? What do we do?
The main guys that you need to carry the water here, Cal, bad first half, okay? Julio has struggled of late. Donovan has been a non-factor. Naylor hasn't had a good year. I mean, that's the explanation. If this team's going to get back to where they were last year. And they can still do it. The fixes are there.
Subscribe to Seattle Sports on YouTube and watch the full interview.
Cards for Kids. KARS Cards for Kids. 1-877 Cards for Kids. Donate your card today.
1-877 Cards for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Ready to get rid of that old car? Donate it to Cars for Kids. Call 877 Cars for Kids to speak to a friendly live agent. Donation is super easy, and your car can be picked up as soon as tomorrow. Go to carsforkids.org now or call 877 Cars for Kids to donate your car today.
1-877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1-877 Cars for Kids.
Did you know you can donate real estate too? Go to carsforkids.org. That's cars with a K.
This might be the most surprising statistic I've shared in decades of doing local news. More than 75% of commuters will be involved in a car accident at some point. JP Pendergast of Pendergast Law with more.
What makes it more surprising? The average person will be involved in 3 to 4 collisions in their lifetime.
With accidents unbelievably prevalent, what are some safety tips if it happens to you?
Safety first. Secondary collisions are not uncommon while awaiting help. Turn on those hazards and remain in a safe place. If a bystander witnessed the accident, capture their information and encourage them to remain at the scene. Seek medical attention immediately if needed, as delaying can be a costly mistake. Lastly, remember that statements made to police and insurance adjusters can affect your case.
Collisions are more common than we'd like to think. If you find yourself in one, follow these helpful tips and then call my friends at Pendergast Law.
If you or a loved one's injured in a car accident, call Pendergast Law. We can help.
PendergastLaw.com.
Sebastian's shoulder injury was dramatic.
I was snowboarding down a really steep hill. I hit a tree and went straight through it and came out the other side and had torn my shoulder up.
And the pain?
The pain level was probably at a 9 and the shock level was at about a 15.
I can imagine. It even affected the simplest things.
Couldn't even put the seatbelt on in my car.
Instead of surgery, he went to see Dr. Mark Wagner, MD, at Seattle Sports and Regenerative Medicine for Stem Cell Therapy, the most experienced in the Northwest with over 20,000 stem cell procedures.
It's way better. I got much better mobility. It doesn't ache as much.
Do you recommend it to people who may be considering surgery?
Absolutely. I got a lot of faith in the way that the science is developing around it, and why not heal your body with your own body?
So whether it's a hip like I had or a shoulder, elbow, ankle, wrist, knee, whatever it is, before choosing surgery, go see Dr. Mark Wagner first. Go to drmarkwagnermd.com. That's drmarkwagnermd.com.
You know, I used to think all money managers were the same until I spoke with Fisher Investments.
Really? How different are they?
Fisher's investment counselors are dedicated to service, not sales, keeping clients up to date on their portfolio.
Well, they probably just invest in a bunch of mutual funds like I do.
Nope. They build a tailored portfolio based on their clients' personal goals, helping them stay on track for a comfortable retirement.
Well, they must make commissions selling products.
Actually, Fisher doesn't sell any commission-based products. They're a fiduciary, and they believe that's a conflict.
Then they have some kind of complex fee structure.
Nope. Fisher has a simple, transparent fee that's a percentage of their client's portfolio. So they do better when their clients do better.
It sounds like Fisher really is different.
Couldn't have said it better myself.
Fisher Investments, clearly different wealth management. Learn more at fisherinvestments.com/different. Investing in securities involves the risk of loss.
Progressive presents the Museum of You.
We begin our tour with a unique piece, a relic from the early big screen television era. Remarkable. Next, we find a juicer, which historians believe has only ever been used once. And finally, compact discs from the emo era. A rare find indeed.
Some things should be history, but until then, you could protect what's important to you and save by bundling your auto insurance with a renter's policy from Progressive. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and other insurers. Not available in all states or situations.
This summer, the Honey Pepper Pimento Chicken Sandwich and Pineapple Dragon Fruit and Sprite are back at Chick-fil-A.
Let me tell you about the Pineapple Dragon Fruit and Sprite. It's bright, it's bubbly, it's back.
The Honey Pepper Pimento Chicken Sandwich, it's so rich, and you can choose between the original or the spicy filet.
Ooh, boy.
And then you got those pickled jalapenos tucked right under the filet, and then just to top it all off, you've got a little honey drizzle right on top.
Okay, now I'm a pimento fan.
And I'm feeling the dragon fruit.
Which fan favorite will you choose? Real customers paid for their testimonials.
This is Seattle Sports.
Streaming through the Seattle Sports app.
KIRO AM Seattle. KIRO FM HD2 Tacoma. Home of the Seahawks, Mariners, and everything Seattle sports. Seattle Sports Snapshot.
The Mariners beat the Angels in that series opener yesterday, 6-2, including 2 home runs from Cole Young. Game 2 today, 6:40 p.m. first pitch, 5:30 p.m. pregame show. And then as a reminder, there's an off day Wednesday before the series picks up for its finale on Thursday. Breaking NBA news this morning, LeBron James has informed the Lakers he will not play for them in 2026. Golden State remains an option.
Snapshot, brought to you by Miller Lite. When it's game time, it's Miller time. From the Quantum Fiber Studio,
this is Bump and Stacy
on Seattle Sports.
Streaming through the Seattle Sports app and at seattlesports.com.
Now, here are your hosts, Michael Bumpus and Stacy Ross.
Here we go now. NFL Network's Isaiah Stanback joining us right now. How's it going?
All is well. How are you doing?
Fantastic. Really fun to talk about this team. I know that they're not Super Bowl favorites right now, but still really high expectations and going to be a really, really fun year, especially in the NFC West. I'm going to start with a question about expectations. Heading into this season, this past season that is, I thought, you know what, if Sam Darnold can just not make mistakes, that'll be enough. And he ended up not putting up necessarily the yardage or touchdown total he had with the Vikings, but I felt like took a step forward, and that included not having a single turnover in the playoffs. What does another step forward look like for Sam Darnold?
I think for him it's just consistency. I know everybody's going to try to put a certain number on touchdowns or completion percentage or, wins versus losses. But for him, it's just being consistent. I think the biggest thing about last year for him, and at least the fan base, is that I don't think that anybody really knew what they were going to get out of him week in and week out, especially whenever you're facing the Rams, right, because of the turnover margin that he had. So I think for him, it's just being consistent, being confident in the offense. Obviously, having been there a few years now, I think that he'll have full command. Obviously, he has a ring to go with it, and I think that you'll see a completely different version of Sam Darnold than you've seen in past years.
Hey, to start the season, there was some, people were skeptical because of what the Hawks lost. No DK, no Tyler Lockett, and then you go and you have the season that they had this year. And what happens? You lose more players, right? Reek is gone, Kobe's gone, Boye is gone. That's what happens when you win championships. What do you think is the biggest loss for the Seahawks this year, this offseason?
Ooh, that's hard. I think collectively, I think the defense, just the holes that they're going to have to fill, obviously in the secondary, obviously losing Mafe and things of that nature. Continuity, right? Everybody wants to kind of point at one player and say, hey, that's the biggest loss. But when you think about successful teams and successful defenses like Seattle had last year, it really comes down to just the continuity, man. The communication. How guys work together, the nonverbal communication, the understanding of where your teammate's going to be in space, the trust. Those are the things that you have to try to recoup and that you have to try to recreate. It's not necessarily that one player that you lost is going to make a tremendous impact because of their productivity that they had. But for me, it's all about on defense. It's all about continuity, man. And if these guys can't come together now with the handful of losses that they had because of their greatness that they had last year, if they can't come together with this new squad and these new additions and have that same form of communication and that same bond, then you're not going to see the same defense. It doesn't matter that the same coordinator is there. It doesn't matter that you're running the same scheme. It's all about the relationships. And I think that, Seattle fans have an understanding of that with, when the Legion of Boom kind of went away and those defenses started losing pieces. It wasn't necessarily about one player. It wasn't about Earl. It wasn't about Cam. It was about the fact that, you were losing the heartbeat of the team. If these guys can't work together, then the productivity is going to fall off as well.
JSN, an absolutely phenomenal player, and we knew that pretty early. I mean, he was a first-round pick. He reached 1,000 yards in his sophomore season here in Seattle. But I don't know how many people were expecting him to absolutely obliterate the franchise record the following year. One offensive player of the year, which is phenomenal. My question for you is, even though opposing defenses clearly knew of JSN heading into this season, how might this past season impact the way opposing defenders and defensive coordinators prepare for them? How might they see him differently now?
I don't think that they're going to see him differently. I think that he's highly respected around the league. Everybody knows what he's fully capable of doing. He's a matchup nightmare, and you can't really press him. You can't really play off. You can't play zone. He's going to hurt you no matter what. The double team aspect of things is going to be there week in and week out. You know, my biggest thing, and I think I've stated it on here before, is it's the complementary players to him. Right? Like, what does everybody else bring? Because when you have other guys that can make contributions that can continually move the chains, that's when JSN becomes even more dangerous. It's not that he can do more or, you know, they're going to try to get the ball in his hands more. It's about, okay, how can they alleviate, you know, the attention to him because everybody else needs to respect the other, you know, contributions of the players that we have on the field. So my biggest question, you know, obviously they went out and they re-signed Rashid Shaheed. That was surprising to me that they gave him the bag like that. You know, kudos to him for getting the money, but I thought that they would have brought in more to contribute on the outside, because if you have one injury outside of JSN, I think that, you know, that the receiving core is going to take a tremendous hit. So we'll see if they make any other additions, you know, after training camp cuts, but I still believe that they need another piece on the outside and even some better tight end play to alleviate some of to free up JSN to do what he does best.
How does Rashid Shaheed have a bigger impact on this offense this year?
I think he just has to take a step up in terms of his route, his abilities to run other routes outside and become a threat within his other routes tree. Obviously, we know he's a big play threat. He can take the top off the roof. He can run posts. He can do all those things, and obviously a tremendous special teams player. And everybody that's in the league can run the entire route tree, but are you dangerous when you do it? And I think that that's the one aspect of his game that I'm sure he's working on. And nobody likes being told that you're not respected or you're not a threat, you know, unless you're doing, you know, A or B. And that's exactly what they've been saying about him. So I'm sure as a competitor and as an athlete, he's going to take that to heart, work on it this offseason, and hopefully he's coming back this year being more dangerous in the underneath coverages so that JSN can get freed up.
You mentioned you'd love to see more from the tight ends. What does that look like? Is there a particular player, and are there particular numbers or stats you're going to be tracking from them?
It's just moving chains for me. In red zone, right? So when you start talking about tight end play, if you're not going to man up JSN, so you're going to get a lot of zone, right? Or you're going to get a lot of combo coverages. You're going to get people rolling coverage over to his side, pressing him up, rolling a safety over the top, even running a linebacker underneath to try to stop him from running, you know, everything underneath in the route tree. So what do you need to do? You need to have a tight end that can work the middle of the field and move the chains. If you have that, now all of a sudden you can't run people underneath, you know, your number one threat. Now all of a sudden you can't have guys vacating the box. So you have to have somebody in the middle that can always threaten to move the chains. You think about any productive offense, they always have a tight end that is going to be a threat. They don't have to be a big name guy. They don't have to be a guy that has, 12, 14 touchdowns, but you need somebody that's always a threat to be able to move those chains in those 3rd and 5, 3rd and 6 situations. You need somebody in the red zone that can work the middle so that you're not always throwing up 50-50 balls.
Hey, going back to this defense, there are two rookies that I'm excited to see. Julian Neal, big corner out of Arkansas, and Bud Clark, the safety out of TCU. Which one do you think hits the field first and has the biggest impact?
You know, I'm not sure. I always I respect the question, but I never know until, you know, guys kind of go through the preseason, because you never know how these guys are going to adjust. I think that safeties always are going to have the greatest impact initially because I don't want to say the position's easier, but they get to sit back and see more and impact the game without as much stress on them, right? They're literally a safety. They look, you know, from the backside looking down. Corners have it a lot more difficult. It's a lot more difficult as a corner in this league to come in and just have immediate success because these receivers are so good. And every team has 3 solid receivers versus safeties. You know, your job is to be the protector of the corners as well as help, from the back end down on anything that's crossing. So I think the safeties are going to have probably a greater impact earlier, but nobody knows exactly what's going to pan out when these guys finish their careers.
Hey, I obviously have more questions about the Seahawks, but I want to make sure I ask you before we leave about a couple other storylines around the NFL. And one of the more interesting to me right now is what the heck happens with Brandon Ayuk in 2026? Is he playing for the 49ers? Yeah. Is he playing for the Commanders? I want to know what you think about how he's been approaching the offseason and what you think might happen for his season this year.
Unfortunately, I believe he's going to get boxed out. And I think that he's just done too much in terms of the public image, in terms of social media, and trying to, players unfortunately at times feel as if they have this great sense of power and that they can kind of move the pieces on the chessboard. And every so often there's a player that comes across that tries to, flex his muscles in that regard. And then they forget that there's 32 bosses out there that control all the pieces. And when they don't want something to happen, they won't allow it to happen. So what I believe is going to happen is that I think that all 32 owners are going to box Brandon Ayuk out, and that will be the message to the rest of the league that this is not how you conduct yourself professionally, and we can't allow it, because if they do allow him to get on a roster, then what is that communicating to anybody else who wants to get out of their situation, their contractual situation in the future?
Yeah, Brandon Ayuk is tripping. I don't know what he's doing over there. But,
you just want to be like, no!
Man, just like less is more.
Where's the
just
friend?
Be quiet.
Yeah. If he would have just been quiet, then I think there was a high probability that he probably would have got moved to Washington like he wants to. But you can't tell owners and GMs what to do. Like, you're not in the position to do that at all.
No, not at all. What was your reaction when you saw that Myles Garrett was going to L.A.?
Oh my gosh, I hated it. I hated it. I'm ride or die Seattle all day. Obviously, I work for the Cowboys and appreciate all that, but I'm home is Seattle, and as soon as I saw that Myles Garrett thing go there, I was like, doggone it. Like, come on, man. Because here's the thing, and I know the conversation has kind of been swept under the rug. Myles Garrett going there, I don't think people truly understand how dangerous that is. Everybody looks at Myles Garrett as, he's this physical dominating force, which he absolutely is. And they say, okay, well, now at least, Jared Verse is not there. But people act as if they don't have other pass rushers. Byron Young is the absolute dog on the opposing side. They have Kobe Turner on the inside, who's an absolute dog. Poona Ford, dog. They got dogs on the front line, and that is before what I believe is going to transpire when I believe Aaron Donald's going to come out of retirement. And I know that sounds crazy, but when you look at everything, I know Aaron Donald's wife. I know everybody's brought her up. I know her personally because my old receivers coach for the Cowboys, that's his daughter. So I remember her when she was a youngster. Like, she's not that overbearing person that's like, no, you can't play ball. Like, she wants him to be happy, and if happy for him is getting back and trying to win a ring when the Super Bowl is being played in your city, there's just too much convenience that's going on. And everybody's like, oh, well, he hasn't trained in a long time. No. Aaron Donald has been training for the last few years. Everybody thinks he's been working out. No, he's been training. So it's scary for sure. What they've done, not only just Myles Garrett, but what they've done on the back end at their corners and their safeties, it's pretty scary, man. I'm not happy that they're doing that because I know it's going to create a lot of issues for Seattle.
Oh, it's a nightmare. I keep telling myself that at least they're meeting after the trade deadline when John Schneider's been able to make some moves. So fingers crossed that they add some weapons there. I wanted to look around the NFC outside of the NFC West, since we could just as easily talk about San Francisco kind of fighting for a Super Bowl too. I'm most interested in Chicago and Philly. And I'm sure that there are some other great candidates to be in this conversation in terms of, hey, look out for that team. But I just find kind of Philly as having a ton of Pro Bowlers and all pros and just kind of getting in their own way being interesting. And then Chicago kind of, on the ascent, wondering if Caleb Williams can figure it out. Bump is a massive fan. He's constantly saying, like, Caleb Williams has one of the best arms in football, like one of the best passers of the ball right now, if he can kind of figure out the accuracy. So tell me what you think of those two and the challenge they pose to a defending Super Bowl champ in 2026.
So obviously, being out here in NFC East world, working with the Cowboys, I'm very familiar with the Eagles. The Eagles are always a threat, like always a threat. And the main reason why they're always a threat is because of Howie Roseman. I think outside of John Schneider, I think Howie Roseman, I think there's three great GMs or decision makers. I think Will McClay here in Dallas, who's doesn't have the title of GM, but pretty much is a GM. I think Howie Roseman, and I think John Schneider. I think those are the three best in the league in terms of making roster moves. I think Howie Roseman is the most aggressive of any of them, and he there's a reason why Philadelphia is always in the conversation for the Super Bowl, because he makes sure that this roster is stacked and deep. The issue that I think Philly has is their head coach. And Nick Sirianni is the curveball that you wish you didn't have in the clubhouse. And I think that there's always a present issue with how he's going to mesh with the squad. And it's almost like Philly's always a ticking time bomb. So they always have the roster. They always have great coaches. But their head coach, I think, at times creates some controversy for them. So you really just don't know what to expect out of them outside of the fact that they're going to be competitive and it can go either way. So they're either going to be really good or they're going to fall apart at the end of the year. Either way, they're in a conversation. When you start talking about the Chicago Bears, you're talking about a team that's continually ascending. And I think they're dangerous from that regard. While Philly's always consistent, they're always in the conversation. The Bears, you just feel this momentum building with the Chicago Bears, and that's scary in that sense because you know they have a lot of young talent. You know they have a heck of a coaching staff. They probably have one of the better coaching staffs in the league. Then obviously Ben Johnson gets over there, and then you have this young, quarterback in Caleb Williams who has all the talent in the world, and he's getting nothing but wisdom from one of the most creative minds in the game. He's building confidence. He's building trust. His teammates are starting to understand who he is as a player, and they're continuing to adapt, and this offense continues to adapt while that defense remains consistent. So Dennis Allen knows what he's doing out there defensively. They're always going to take care of business there. And then offensively, Ben Johnson's continuing to stack on wisdom with Caleb Williams. So they're, to me, probably more dangerous than Philly, just from the perspective of they continually start to ascend versus Philly. Okay, you're working with a juggernaut, but can we get these guys knocked off, and get these guys arguing with each other?
Good stuff in an early preview of the season with NFL Network's Isaiah Stanback. Thanks, Isaiah.
Thanks, Isaiah.
Appreciate y'all.
Let's get to 4 Down territory.
This is 4 Down territory, going inside the game with former Seahawks and Coug wide receiver Michael Bumpus.
You know what I love? When Stacey hits you with that voice. All right, great interview here when Isaiah Stanback.
It's my customer service / phone voice. It's just, okay, thank you so much. Bye-bye.
Hey, it works. That's why you be in them reads and stuff. They need that.
They need that. Yeah,
you need to sound like a Toyota.
It's not a consignment.
I'm sorry, I do have a commercial voice.
Yeah,
that's also my snapshot voice and my breaking news voice. Well, no, my breaking news voice is breaking news. It gets a little bit deeper.
It's a talent.
But yeah, you can always tell when I'm trying way too hard when a guest leaves. We go, okay, see you later. Bye-bye.
No, I think that's just how you talk. Nothing wrong with that.
First down. What's bad news for the NFC West, if true?
All right. Hey, so coaches and players gas teammates up all the time. That is what we are here for. That's what at least good teammates and coaches do. Read an article saying, Juszczyk said Mike Evans is unguardable. I'm like, dang. And then I start thinking, I'm like, my man is 32. He's been in the league for about 12, 13 years. What does unguardable mean to him? I don't think he's on the outside running by people. I don't think that's his game anymore. I think he can get vertical and maybe get a step on somebody, but he's not blowing by anybody anymore. When he says unguardable, I think of him in motion in the slot, moving around, sitting in space, and doing things that we expected Cooper Kupp to do. Cooper Kupp had, 3 or 4 really big catches throughout the season? Clutch, especially that one third down, Thursday Night Football against the Rams, sideline toe tap.
The forgotten conversion, I always think.
Exactly. That was a huge catch. That's what I see in Mike Evans. I think he's going to be great in this offense with the San Francisco 49ers because you don't have to be a burner to get open in that offense. So when he says unguardable, I'm thinking going across the middle, sitting in zones, not really winning one-on-one battles and being good in the red zone. He can do that for sure. So we'll see what Mike Evans has left in the tank. But my initial reaction after calming down and thinking about who he is in this offense is a bit different than an analysis or after I analyze the situation.
No, I like looking at it that way. Or even, I honestly, as you were explaining it, I wondered if you would go in the direction of like unguardable for someone that's that kind of veteran. It's just, you cannot make this person not a factor.
Yeah.
Which was a cool definition.
He'll get his 40, 50 catches for sure.
Cool way to look at it. Second down. What decision did the NCAA make that you actually agree with?
I agree with in a way and disagree in another way. They approve age-based 5-year eligibility rule, which means that you just get 5 years. There's no more red shirt. You get 5 years. And the only reason you get more years is if there's like a maternity leave, going on mission, or if there's some military stuff going on. I agree with it because with the money that's being handed out to these athletes, you should be able to use their services immediately, right? If I'm going to hand $1 million to this quarterback and he redshirts for a year, he's essentially prolonging his career and be able to get more money, which is fine. I'm not mad at them getting money, but that redshirt year confuses things a little bit. What I don't like about it is that what if you have a major knee injury or something like that, your third year, and you're out that fourth year, and assuming you're out that fifth year, you should be able to have another year. So what I would love them to tweak is just being able to have that extra year if you do tear something. Now, there's some dudes getting 6-7 years off of multiple injuries. That's a different thing. But I think money-wise, I like the idea of just saying, look, you just got 5 years to play. Get your 5 years. You can play, and now you can use those services for 5 years. You don't have to wait and sit on that redshirt year. It's advantageous for the player, but not for the coach, because the coach would like to stockpile these players and say, okay, you chill for a year, then I'll use you. No, your clock is ticking. So it's put them out there. Use them now. If he's 18, 19 years old, he's ready to go put him out there, let him play some ball.
Third down. NFL analyst Warren Sharp said something that had you scratching your head. What was it?
I was offended at first.
Okay.
Ain't gonna lie. I was a little bit offended. And then once again, there's your initial reaction, and then you start to think about stuff and you say, okay, I kind of see where he's coming from. Warren Sharp ranked the running back rooms in the NFL. Have you looked at it? You looked at it. Who do you think was, do you know who the best room was?
I didn't know that. Okay, so let me guess this
Yeah.
one first. Best running back room. Oh, God. I want to say Detroit. Were they top
2
5?
Robinsons.
Huh? Oh, Atlanta.
Yep, Bijan Robinson and Brian Robinson. Number 1, I can see that. Number 2, they got Detroit. Number 3, Buffalo. Number 4, Indy. Number 5, Philly. Number 6, Rams. I can't go all the way through until you get to the Seahawks. You know why, Stacey?
Yep.
Because my guys were ranked 31st out of 32 teams. Initially, I'm like, what are you talking about, man? But then I think Zach Charbonnet is hurt. Kenny McIntosh is hurt. Emmanuel Wilson has only ran for about 200, 300 yards in a season. George Halani has never been the number 1 running back in this league. And then you have Jadarian Price, who we haven't seen go to work yet. I think he's capable of being a number 1 type of running back, but we just haven't seen it. So with all that being said, all right, put him in the 30s or something like that. It makes complete sense, but I think there's potential there. I think they have the potential to make the biggest jump on his list out of any other team. I could see them being around 15, 14, 13 by the time this season is over. So initially, there's always the headline knee-jerk reaction that you have, which I think all people have, and then you start to dig deep and look at talent and look at other running back rooms, and you say, all right, I understand it. Oh, yeah, 31st, remember that, put a chip on your shoulder. Let's get right, get healthy, and see what this running back room does.
Fourth down. We just spoke with NFL Network's Isaiah Stanback. Anything stand out from that conversation?
Yeah, the fact that he thought BA is tripping, I appreciate that too. Like, Brandon Ayuk is doing way too much, and owners are not going to want to deal with him. And the fact that no one has gotten in his ear yet and told him just to be quiet is crazy to me. Or maybe they have, and he just hasn't listened. I haven't been listening. And then his reaction to Myles Garrett. That's the reaction I had when I saw that the Rams got Myles Garrett. First, I thought it was AI and somebody was messing with me. And then you realize, yes, this is real, and you still got some guys over there. And then he also mentioned he's not sure what rookies are going to do, which you really don't. You got to wait until preseason when they get the pads on to see what's going on. Ask him about Julian Neal and Bud Clark. I think, obviously, Bud Clark will probably get some run before Julian Neal, but I can see Julian Neal on the field as well. But Isaiah Stanback, a guy who's on Good Morning Football or something like that, right? Good Morning Football. He's on Good Morning Football, and he has all the resources in the world, and even he's not sure about these rookies. That lets you know just how much of a roll of the dice some of these rookies can be. Nothing in this league is guaranteed, but I think most of us feel like Bud Clark is going to do his thing.
Yeah. You're listening to Bump and Stacy on Seattle Sports and the Seattle Sports app. Coming up, Mariners first baseman Josh Naylor is finding a way to get under everyone's skin again.
Seattle Sports, home of Brock and Salk, morning 6 to 10.
The Mariners have now scored 3 runs or fewer in 11 consecutive games. So what's the deal?
Yeah, you don't have a Mariner on pace to hit 30 home runs. A lot of frustration on that overnight text toy. Why there's a lot of frustration in the socials.
Because you know that as bad as and as bleak as things are today, the sun will come out tomorrow, if you'll excuse the Annie reference.
It's gonna come out tomorrow.
Watch live or later on the Seattle Sports YouTube channel.
Long days call for lots of golf. Hey, it's Graz here, encouraging you to book a tee time between 5 a.m. and 8 p.m. at your local premier course, like Bellevue, Bill Wright, Cedar Crest, Inner Bay, Jackson Park, Lake Padden, Leeds Memorial, Linwood, and Walter Hall. In Western Washington, you know you're never far from a premier course. It accommodates all skill levels, and with affordable rates, you can book a tee time and truly enjoy the summer. If you're not in the mood for walking, play Top Tracer at the range at Inner Bay, Bill Wright, and Jackson Park. Play the courses. Play Premier.
Les Schwab Tires has been proudly serving communities for over 70 years, and we've collected thousands of inspiring stories. Like Kate, who was off on a long road trip with her best friend when the dash lit up like a game show. They find the nearest Les Schwab. Turns out they really needed an oil change. It was done in a flash. Road trip saved. At Les Schwab, we're proud to keep you rolling. Les Schwab Tires. Our greatest story is yours. Stories are composites inspired by real customer feedback.
Listen every morning to Brock and Salk for Need to Know, powered by Marquee Data. Marquee IQ brings all your data together into one clear view. Stop running your business on highlights. Get the full picture. Visit datathatwins.com to learn more.
All right, summer's here at Snoqualmie Casino and Hotel. Mike Salk here, and you can check out upcoming shows like the Pop 2000 Tour with Chris Kirkpatrick of NSYNC, O-Town, Ryan Cabrera, and LFO on August 1st. If you need a laugh, comedy legend David Spade visits on August 15th, or you can relive the 80s with pop sensation Taylor Dane on September 6th. All the tickets are at snocasino.com. You can experience luxury with breathtaking Cascade views, world-class dining, and play your favorite games. Elevate your next getaway. That's Seattle's closest, Snoqualmie Casino and Hotel. Please game responsibly.
Hey, it's John Curley with my friend Bob Stelton. And Bob, just like me, you had a hip problem. You were recommended surgery. Why did you go see Dr. Wagner first?
I was walking around at about an 8 pain level. I couldn't walk that far before the pain would kick in, and it was impacting my workouts and just really impacting my day-to-day stuff.
So you had stem cell on your hip. How does it feel now?
I can do a lot of things I could not do prior to this procedure, and I feel like I've gotten back to being who I was prior to the injuries, which was somebody who's very active, loves being out there outside when the weather's great, being on the motorcycle, sparring in jiu-jitsu, working out. I can do all of those things now. And I've had friends that have gone to see Dr. Wagner. They had the same experience, whether they were dealing with a hip, a knee, an elbow, a shoulder. Everybody walking out of there feels like, why didn't I do this sooner?
Before you choose surgery, do what Bob and I did. Go see Dr. Mark Wagner first. drmarkwagnermd.com. drmarkwagnermd.com.
The Mariners are all about giving you more baseball for your buck. With Mariners value games, you can score seats for less than $12 on select dates all season long. Plus, be sure to check out the biggest ever value menu and beer lineup. Available every game and featuring 36 items. From ballpark classics like hot dogs, nachos, and refillable sodas to canned brews starting at just $5. Go to mariners.com/value to grab your value game tickets and check out the full slate of value options at T-Mobile Park.
Guys, it's Men's Health Month at Revive Seattle. Get a free comprehensive wellness panel. It checks your testosterone, blood sugar, heart health, and more. Valued at $400. Offer ends June 30th. Call 206-529-1111 or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com.
Mariners and Angels tonight at T-Mobile. 6:40 first pitch, pregame at 5:30. Every pitch, every game, one app for free. The Seattle Sports app.
When you're injured in a motorcycle crash, don't settle for firms that say they're motorcycle lawyers. Trust the ones who actually live it, because you need someone who understands the ride. It's Bob Stelton here, and for 25 years, Law Tigers has helped thousands of riders. One mission only, to serve the motorcycle community. With Law Tigers, you never ride alone. That's why riders have trusted Law Tigers, because this isn't just what they do, it's who they are. They're there 24/7, 365 days a year, because riders deserve real support whenever they need it. Your case evaluation is always free, and there are no fees until your case settles. They're going to help you get your bike and your gear repaired or replaced, because they know how much those things mean to you. Law Tigers, 25 years strong and still riding with you. Call 1-800-LAW-TIGERS or visit lawtigers.com. Again, that's 1-800-LAW-TIGERS. With Law Tigers, you never ride alone. Law Tigers, Washington's motorcycle lawyers. Cook Law Office, PLLC, 539 Broadway, Unit 104, Tacoma, Washington, 98402.
T-Mobile has an exclusive bundle for customers 55 and up.
I'm Sarah Bowl.
Yeah, I'm Frank Bowl.
A reliable network is key for us. And with T-Mobile, it's been wonderful. And going to the 55 plus plan saved us so much money.
A lot.
And that's important, trying to keep costs down. The home internet's been perfect. It's fast, it's quick. The setup was so easy, it took less than 15 minutes.
It was like, ta-da! If you want simplicity, coverage, reliability, you want the whole package, T-Mobile has it.
Right now, T-Mobile customers 55 and up can get 2 phone lines on America's best network, plus America's fastest 5G home internet for just $30 each.
$30 per month each line with autopay plus taxes and fees. Minimum age 55. Pricing for home internet rely on 2 lines of essentials. Choice 55. $35 connection charge per line required. Best mobile network and fastest 5G home internet based on analysis by Ookla of Speed Test Intelligence data 2H 2025. All rights reserved.
This is The Timeline
with Bump and Stacy.
Brought to you by 1-800-DUI-AWAY.
Josh Naylor, what a character. So we already know that he and Austin Hedges, Guardians catcher, went back and forth. And that was great. That was fun. I don't know what was behind it, but I enjoy when Josh Naylor gets under other people's skin. Guardians manager Stephen Vogt says he's not surprised by some of Naylor's antics, by the way. This is what he had to say after that series finale.
No. Right on par.
Was Aaron actually did that pitch?
It was a curveball. So, yeah, no, we don't throw it at anybody intentionally.
Did you think he leaned into that pitch?
I didn't see it, so I had my head down. He went to first base, and I heard him chirping. I figured it was 2 former teammates having a conversation from 90 feet away.
I mean, sure, technically, it was 2 former teammates having a conversation from 90 feet away. That is literally what happened. On Monday, MLB journeyman Stone Garrett shared a wild story about Naylor from their time together in the Marlins farm system around 2015 or 2016. Naylor would have at this point been like 18-ish years old. Stone said, Josh Naylor liked to play stupid games. Dude would come into our apartment, we were neighbors, with aerosol and lighters multiple times. That wasn't his first time in my apartment with a butcher's knife.
Just a casual flamethrower.
The guy hid in my closet waiting for me to get home. When I went to hang up my shirt, he jumped out with a knife pointed at me. It caught my thumb, sliced it wide open. I went to the ER. He waits for me when I get back. First question is, are you going to press charges? Next day, coach holds a team meeting saying front office wants to keep it hush-hush, LMAO. I get surgery. He got suspended 1 game. 2 weeks later, he goes to the Futures, gets traded. He is the most psychotic person I've ever met in my life. Now, listen. I thought the story was kind of funny.
Nah, he's being... Don't play with knives, kids. It's very dangerous. Oh, boy, sounds like he's being a bit sensitive there. Listen, there was this one time my homie, we were at a bar at Wazoo, and he was hanging out with this girl, but he always denied he was hanging out with this girl. One of those, right? No, man, I'll never hang out with her. And we saw him talking to her like he's about to go home with her. So we beat him home. We hid in the closet. As soon as they walked through the door, we bust out. Bow!
Oh, my God, that would have terrified me.
Scared the heck out of the girl. He's all mad. He's a big boy. He's like 6'7", 6'6", big boy, chasing us and stuff. But that's what dudes do when they're that young. Now, I wouldn't recommend throwing a weapon into the situation, but there have been worse done than what Josh Naylor did.
If you told me, hey, there is one player on the Mariners who accidentally sent his friend to the emergency room after hiding in his closet with a butcher knife, who do you think it was? Naylor's top 3 on that list.
He's on the list. Yeah, he's top
on
3
the list,
for sure.
bro.
Yeah. I'd put maybe Luke Raley on that list too.
Oh, yeah, that's a good answer.
One.
Good answer.
Good answer. Who else is going on that list? You got to go. God, there's got to be. Is there a starter? I don't know about
Randy?
a starter.
Randy, yeah, I can see Randy doing some antics for sure. He plays the guitar wrong with the
trident.
Yeah. So yeah, I can see that.
Julio's silly. I don't know that he's not psychotic, but he is silly.
Yeah. Well, he looks like he can be a prankster.
He definitely seems like a prankster, a more lighthearted prankster.
Yeah.
But
no knives.
Yeah, Naylor would for sure. Naylor would probably be number 1 if I'm going to be honest. And you know what? As long as a psychotic person isn't hurting anyone, I want that guy on that team.
Yeah.
Every team needs a couple psychos. I'm going to be 100%
18,
serious.
19 years old. What is he like? 28 now?
What's the craziest thing you ever did when you were 18? Like if someone told
That's
this
safe
story
for
now,
air. Yeah.
that's safe for air, or that you had a friend that did something crazy that's safe for air, where if someone were to tell the story
tied up 1-1, Ghana, Norway. Just driving recklessly. That was the main thing.
Nothing
just
crazy.
dumb stuff like that.
Yeah. Curtis, you actually said when you read the aerosol part of this, you said, well, I did that.
Yeah, that's something like every teenage boy does, where you grab a lighter and any kind of aerosol can, could be Axe body spray, it could be anything, and you just spray it, and all of a sudden it becomes a flamethrower.
You know what? I will say that when I was little, our babysitter used to chase us around with a lighter, and I think she's a doctor now.
Wow. How old were you guys? That's crazy.
We were... old enough for me to remember, but young enough to need a babysitter. So certainly elementary school.
Like 7 or 8?
Yeah, probably around there.
That's
6,
concerning.
7, 8, 9. Yeah.
I would not want that from a babysitter.
I think she just thought it was funny. I don't know. I don't know why she did it. I just have a memory of her running with the lighter on and chasing us because we were running from it. And
just a regular lighter.
Yeah, just a regular lighter, and we were just scared.
Boys would have laughed at that.
Yeah.
What are you doing that thing?
I was too good a child. I was like, she's gonna kill us.
I do think an interesting wrinkle in all of this Josh Naylor stuff this week is how long him and Austin Hedges were teammates. Because as pointed out in the John Boy video, they were together in the Padres organization, got traded together to Cleveland. They basically played together for a decade, and Hedges is mouthing to him. And you can hear it on a field mic, not clearly, but you can hear it where he's like, nobody likes you.
Which I wouldn't say
your
is
own
true.
teammates don't like you.
I don't think that's
Like,
true.
yeah, I don't know. And then come to find out, Hedges has been very complimentary of Naylor in the past.
Yeah.
Like, as recently, I think 2022 was the last time there's audio of him talking about Naylor. So I don't know. I think the frustrations of the moment on Sunday got to both these guys.
Someone said, what if it's bad luck? Oh, I thought they were making a joke about the trident being dangerous.
No,
and maybe Naylor's careful with the trident now.
Naylor should never change what he's doing with that trident now. It is what it is.
You're not gonna believe this in our next story, but Diana Rossini might not have been totally truthful recently. In a recent New York Times profile, one story that stood out was Rossini claiming to get out of a speeding ticket by letting a police officer FaceTime with his favorite team's head coach. I think that was because she also said it on a radio show, and it might have been Dan Le Batard, but I can't remember. Body cam footage of the traffic stop, though, was just released on Monday and showed that she never FaceTimed any coach. The officer did mention that his favorite team was the Vikings.
Are you a fan of Giants or Jets?
I'm not a fan of either. So.
What is your team?
I'm a Vikings fan, unfortunately. Let's see it.
Can you see the name?
Oh my God. KOC?
See what I said? Look what I said to him, though, just now. Go to the bottom.
Oh my God. Wow. Pretty cool.
Dude, I love the Vikings, though. They're awesome. KOC's awesome.
Yeah. He seems like a good
Your
dude.
quarterback sucks, though.
Yeah. So he's got to get it. He's got to fix it. He's got to turn it around or someone else is going to get him. Do you have your registration as well? That's what I was going to ask next is like, have you ever gotten points, anything like that? No? All right. You heading home now?
Yeah, I'm going to go on TV and work.
Okay. What channel?
Well, I work for The Athletic, which is like the New York Times.
Yeah.
I'm doing something for Fox this morning.
Okay, cool. All right. Just give me a minute, okay?
Somewhere J.J. McCarthy is like, what did I do? I mean, he's not very good. But catching strays in a traffic stop. Yeah. Fun team. Kevin O'Connell's great. Your quarterback sucks.
Listen, I know what she was doing. She's trying to get out of that ticket.
Yes.
I'm someone important, someone special. If they don't recognize you and don't offer to do that or just let you go, don't be that person and name drop and make it clear what you're doing, thinking that this cop is going to have a change of heart because of what you do for a living. That was cringe for me. I didn't like that.
Yeah, I didn't love that one. Next and last story. How fortuitous. Paramount Plus announced an upcoming docuseries that will follow Texas Tech's football program. It's been in production since January of 2026. I wonder if they have anything to talk about. So it's going to be, what is it called? I don't know. It's the same.
Texas Tech
University.
Texas Tech.
The Texas Tech.
Brendan
So
Sorsby
obviously Brendan
school.
Sorsby. I'm wondering two things. One, how much of if it has been in production since January, then this unfolded presumably on camera, right?
It had to have.
Yeah. I wonder
no way.
There has to be some stipulation. The university is not going to want everything out about this situation. I hope we get it all, but they're going to clean this up a bit. We'll get some of it. It's going to be like that Michael Jackson story. You see the new Michael Jackson movie?
Yeah.
Like they show that Joe Jackson used to spank him, but not the way he really used to spank him. Like that's what this is going to be. It's like, yeah, we got some stuff going on, but you're not going to get the full deal.
So it's a 4-episode docuseries that will air ahead of the college football season. So about 2 months here. I'm really obviously curious to see it. I just want to know how much is actually there. Why would they, this is a dumb question, but why would they have been profiling Texas Tech in particular?
Because
I think
they've got money.
Yeah, they got a lot of money.
So
You paid for this kind of coverage.
Okay.
This is not them, just picking the most interesting team.
Got it. Okay.
It's what's his name? Cody Campbell, the guy who bankrolls that entire athletic program. That's him dialing up his friends at Paramount and being like, hey, can you come cover us?
Top 3 in the country when it comes to money.
That's useful context. Let's go around the diamond. The Mariners can get a series win tonight against the Angels. Pregame starts at 5:30 p.m. First pitch at 6:40 p.m. Brian Wu on the mound. That's coming up on Seattle Sports and the Seattle Sports app, and that's Around the Diamond, brought to you by Klein Jewelers Edmonds. Hype Train coming your way next.
Seattle Sports, home of Wyman and Bob.
Is Sam Darnold worth $55 million a year?
Afternoons 2 to 7.
I think he's worth it. I do too. That's going to be a low-sounding number here very quickly. He's not an ego guy who's going to be, let me cook, let me chuck it all over the yard. I don't think he is going to think, hey, I deserve $55 million. I think he's willing to work for that. Similar results next year, then we'll start talking about that.
Watch live or later on the Seattle Sports YouTube channel.
Hey there, Dawn Riling from Olympic Hot Tub with exciting news. Our mid-year clearance event is on. You'll score big savings on all in-stock saltwater hot tubs and fabulous saunas. Plus, deep discounts on newly released floor model swim spas. These deals are incredible. But don't wait. Our mid-year clearance ends June 30th. OlympicHotTub.com. Better you, better life.
Olympic Hot Tub.
Every day, caregivers change lives. Caregiving offers flexibility and the chance to make a real difference in your community. It's not just caring work, it's hard work. The kind of work that calls for empathy, patience, problem solving, reliability, and both physical and mental strength. It may be the hardest job you'll ever love. Right now, Washington faces a caregiver shortage, and your skills and your heart are needed more than ever. Visit caregivercareerswa.com for resources and support to start or return to your caregiving career.
Sponsored by DSHS and aired by the WSAB and this station.
Hey, Brock Hewitt here with my buddy, Dr. Daniel Nelson from Eastside Pain and Regenerative Medicine. The stem cell therapy you did on my knee was a game changer. But Dr. Dan, people ask me all the time if you're seeing the same kind of success treating neck and back pain with stem cell therapy.
Great question, Brock. As you know from your experience, we've had tremendous success treating major joints like hips, knees, and shoulders, but we've also seen excellent results treating neck and lower back pain. In fact, we're the only clinic in the Seattle area offering image-guided stem cell and PRP injection therapy specifically for neck and low back pain.
How cool is that? If joint, neck, or back pain is holding you back, call Dr. Daniel Nelson at Eastside Pain and Regenerative Medicine and find out if stem cell therapy may be right for you. Dr. Dan here is the only doctor with over 30 years of experience in pain medicine techniques, including stem cell therapy. Call Dr. Daniel Nelson, MD, at 425-823-4000 or visit danielnelsonmd.com. That's 425-823-4000 or danielnelsonmd.com.
Guys, I'll never forget the first time I saw somebody get results at our clinic. He was an 81-year-old man who hadn't been intimate with his wife in over 8 years. Viagra had stopped working for him, and he was desperate for help. After several treatments, he walked into my office and told me he couldn't believe the results. Needless to say, this was a very happy man. This man made me a believer in what we do. He had taken pills for years, but he had never fixed the problem. When he came to us, we fixed the problem. Our treatment does what no pill can do. So give West Coast Men's Health a call today. Speak with our clinic manager. Ask him any question you like, how it works, the science behind it, and even the cost. Change your life today, like the thousands of men who already have.
In addition to treating ED and Peyronie's disease, we now offer testosterone replacement therapy. With clinics in Redmond and Tacoma, call 206-519-6541. 206-519-6541. Online at westcoastmenshealth.com.
Do you know a woman making a difference in Seattle's sports and events community? Someone who leads with purpose, mentors others, champions inclusion, and inspires those around her to be their best? Wise Seattle and Seattle Sports want to celebrate her. Nominations are now open for the 2026 Women of Inspiration Award, recognizing an outstanding woman whose impact is helping shape the future of sports and events in our region. Submit your nomination today at woiseattle.org. Nominations close July 10th.
Mariners and Angels tonight at T-Mobile. 6:40 first pitch pregame at 5:30. Every pitch, every game, one app for free. The Seattle Sports app.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-575-8157. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS. Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start. Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems. We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau. You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-575-8157. That's 800-575-8157. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
Are you an adult with uncontrolled moderate to severe Crohn's disease symptoms and still packing a backup bag of clothes? Just in case? Skyrizi Risankizumab Riza can help you take control of your Crohn's. Feel significant symptom relief, including less abdominal pain and fewer bowel movements at 4 weeks. Plus, Skyrizi is proven to help people achieve remission and visibly improve damage of the intestinal lining. Individual results may vary. Skyrizi is a prescription injection medicine. Don't use if allergic to Skyrizi. Serious allergic reactions, increased infections, or lower ability to fight them may occur. Before treatment, get checked for infections and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor about any flu-like symptoms or vaccines. Liver problems leading to hospitalization may occur when treated for Crohn's. Ready to take control of your Crohn's? Ask your doctor about Skyrizi, the #1 prescribed biologic in Crohn's disease.
Control is everything to me.
Learn more at skyrizi.com or call 1-866-SKY-RIZZY.
From the Quantum Fiber Studio, you're listening to Bumpin' Stacy.
Weekdays 10 to 2.
On Seattle Sports and 97.3 FM HD2.
Coming up in 15 minutes, 2 huge keys to unlocking the Seahawks offense. We are also going to take a look around the NFL coming up at 12:30. Get back to the Mariners at 1 with the dugout. All Mariners from 1 to 2. Shannon, Drayer kicking things off at 1. Right now, let's head to the station for Hype Train. Breaking news earlier this morning. LeBron James has told the Lakers he does not plan to return to LA in 2026. This is your first Hype Train. LeBron is a Golden State Warrior this season.
The West is tough. You got OKC, you got the Spurs, the Nuggets, you got LaMelo, who just went to the Timberwolves. And because of that, no, I'm not on this hype train. He's got to go somewhere he can win. I think he goes back to Cleveland. Cleveland made it to the Eastern Conference Finals last year. You got some young talent over there. I think that's where he should end his career. You're going to have a statue over there. If you can bring them one more championship, get to 5 and equal Kobe, I think that's what's best for him. You're not going to win a championship at Golden State. I'm not on this.
LeBron James is a Golden State Warrior in 2026. Curtis.
I think LeBron is just looking for vibes right now at age, 41, I think is what his age will be on opening night. I think he just wants to spend his last years in the NBA with his buddies, whether that be in Cleveland, Miami. I think most of his friends, though, are heading to Golden State. I think he's really tight with Draymond. We know that they've had a pretty lengthy friendship. I think things between him and Steph have definitely thawed, especially with both of them playing on Team USA back in 2024. So I think it is most likely he ends up in the Bay. I'm boarding this train. I think LeBron is a Golden State Warrior in 2026. It's going to look so weird, especially because he had all those classic NBA finals against Golden State. Now he's joining them, but whatever. We're not it's not weird seeing LeBron move teams anymore.
Why did the Wizards emerge as?
I think that's
like a popular.
joke.
That's just
yeah.
Okay.
He would
I
never
saw that
go
and I
there.
was like, "There's."
I mean,
no
Anthony Davis is
way.
technically a Washington Wizard, but
Okay.
it sounds like the Wizards are trying to move him.
Got it. Okay. No, yeah, he's a Warrior in 2026. I'm boarding this. Get to that age, you're just looking for.
You think LeBron doesn't want to win another championship and get to
I
5?
think every player wants to win a championship all the time.
But not now. But not this
Well,
time.
no, I just think that
There's
like
no way he's winning a
but
championship
think about
with
it
the
this
Warriors.
way: like you don't have to move across the country.
You think he don't have 5 mansions in Cleveland? He ain't gonna see his mom.
He's gonna
So
live
you
comfortably
think just
wherever
closest
he's
team to a
at, Stacey.
championship is where
Yeah,
it's
I
going?
think it's set up for him.
Okay.
He's from Cleveland, played
Okay.
for Cleveland, but
This
we'll
the
see.
story comes full circle.
That'd be nice. He ain't winning in Golden
Well, what
State.
if I want to stay at the station with Bump?
You're already on.
Fine.
Got to connect somewhere
Next
else.
up, U.S. men's national team advances to the round of 16 and gets another match in Seattle. You
Oh
board
yeah,
this one?
I'm on that. Let's get it. Come on, Bosnia. What you got? I love Bosnia's World Cup song. It's awesome. It's like, take me to America. I want to see Statue of Liberty. Take me to the Golden State. Like, theirs is the most, like, just genuine one. Because all the other World Cup songs are just yelling players' names
Yeah.
and stuff. Bosnia's like, nah, let me see
Yeah.
some stuff while I'm
They're
here.
like, put a beat down.
Let's go. So, yeah, I think we get it down. We're going to put together our original 11. I know we lost our last game, but that was almost by design. They already won the group. So they throw some backups in there, but we're going to get the real deal. And I want to say after the U.S. saw Germany lose to Paraguay, they are confident as heck. They're going to feel good. Let's get her done.
I'm going to start saying that about every loss. If the Mariners lose to the Angels tonight, I'm going to say it was kind of by design, though.
Yeah, you didn't want to
It was
waste.
by design. You
Yeah.
just
By
kind of have
design.
to.
They didn't care about
You know
that
what I mean?
game.
You got to think at the next level to really understand what the Mariners are setting up. The U.S. men's national team advances to the round of 16. That means another match in Seattle. Curtis, Bump is boarding RU.
Normally, I would say something disparaging about the United States opponent in this situation, but there was that clip of that reporter in LA that was
news
like
reporter who
trashing
was-
on
yeah.
Bosnia and just got destroyed by everybody online. So I'm not going to say anything bad about Bosnia because I don't want that to happen to me. I'll just say Bosnia and Herzegovina go home after this one because the United States is advancing.
no.
We're boarding this train.
Yeah, she forgot where she was.
She thought she was on the internet
That's
and,
the thing.
and not
I think
on
that
TV.
What I think happened is I'm guessing she is not a sports reporter, a news reporter who is talking about the World Cup, and she's just making
She's like,
it
I don't even
light
know where
and
it is on a
funny.
map.
Exactly, and being silly, and man. Yes, boarding this one. All aboard. Next up. We've been calling for more slugging from the Mariners lineup, and we get it tonight. Julio and Cal hit home runs tonight. You're only boarding if both will.
See, now you're getting greedy. Julio and Cal.
I did this a lot last year.
No,
Have we
but
seen it happen
come on,
this
man.
year, I
Cal's
think, right?
Cal's getting jammed and hitting bloopers to the outfield and hoping and praying when he's in
So
that
you don't
box right
believe
now. Nah, I don't think it's gonna happen. I think one of them do, and I'm gonna go with Julio. But nah, I don't think both of them do it.
Wow. Okay. Curtis, Cal, and Julio hit home runs tonight. I feel like I should flip that. Julio and Cal hit home runs tonight.
Jose Soriano has allowed 12 home runs this season. In how many starts has he made? He has made 17 starts this season. So he's good for about one a start. A little less than one a start.
Yeah, I was going to say not one to start.
His last time out, though, gave up 2 home runs to the Baltimore Orioles. He's given up 6 so far in the month of June. I think it happens. I think Jose Soriano is letting the Mariners go Yahtzee on him with Cal Raleigh and Julio Rodriguez. We're boarding this train. Soriano's numbers this season were incredible through the month of April. He had at one point an ERA of .24. Since then, though, it has not gone well for him. So I think tonight may be a bit of an extension of that.
Now, we need second half Julio to turn up, and we desperately need any good version of Cal to start. I don't think that I think Cal's showing progress, like being a little more patient, not swinging erratically at everything. Like, that's good. I don't think he's, like, turned it on yet, and I don't think that happens overnight. but it's fun to board this train, so I'm going to do it. Cal and Julio, yes. I almost took the opposite approach for fun of just like, I think Cal does, but not Julio. But vibes are better with both for sure.
They definitely are.
Yeah. Last one, quickly. Brandon Ayuk plays football in 2026.
No. My man talks too much. He got money though. He got money though, but nah.
Curtis, Brandon Ayuk plays football in 2026.
No chance.
Oh,
We're not boarding this train.
What's he doing?
Losing money.
I don't think I am either.
He's gonna be posting some wild Instagram videos though.
I think we have many more Instagram posts to talk about over the course of the season too. But all aboard that train to round it off. Coming up, back to the Seahawks. 2 huge keys to unlocking the offense.
MLB Network insider John Morosi with Wyman and Bob.
How do we assess this Mariner team? What do we do?
The main guys that you need to carry the water here, Cal, bad first half, okay? Julio has struggled of late. Donovan has been a non-factor. Naylor hasn't had a good year. I mean, that's the explanation. If this team's going to get back to where they were last year. And they can still do it. The fixes are there.
Subscribe to Seattle Sports on YouTube and watch the full interview.
What does baseball and Klein Jewelers have in common? Diamonds, of course. Hi, Andy Klein here. Sure, we love baseball, but we love diamonds even more. Why? Because our diamonds sparkle and last longer than 9 innings. Every diamond is hand-selected for maximum brilliance, quality, and value. Klein Jewelers by the Fountain in downtown Edmonds also has a big selection of engagement rings, wedding bands, diamond and gemstone fashion jewelry, and one-of-a-kind custom designs. Swing for the fences and shine with Klein.
There's a sink at the brink and a drain that's a pain.
DayandNight.net. Slow drain? Backed up toilet? Call Day and Night to save $100 off any drain cleaning.
Hi, I'm Bruce with Day and Night Plumbing and Heating. From a slow drain to a major backup, no drain is too big or too small. Whether we're your first choice or smart second opinion, I guarantee our experts will solve any drain problem, day or night.
Now get $100 off any drain cleaning.
DayandNight.net.
Valvoline Instant Oil Change presents Wisdom from the Road.
Summer means wide open spaces and a whole lot of extra miles. The last place you want your engine to give out is halfway to nowhere. Out here, low oil or a weak battery is just an ambush waiting to happen. That's why every oil change at Valvoline Instant Oil Change includes an 18-point maintenance check. These techs are trained to help spot issues early and keep you riding easy.
Valvoline Instant Oil Change.
Change wisely.
Do you need a new roof? Visit 3treeroofing.com to schedule your free estimate and secure $500 off your project this summer. Our technicians build a custom plan to ensure a high-quality roof installation every time. 3 Tree Roofing, your Puget Sound roofing experts.
June is Men's Health Month. Swedish Cyberknife is encouraging men to break the stigma and talk about their own health with family members and medical professionals. Dave Wyman here. Find out about your family medical history, as conditions like prostate cancer can increase your risk. When detected early, prostate cancer has several viable treatment options. One of the most effective treatment methods for prostate cancer is offered at Swedish Medical Center right here in Seattle. Swedish Cyberknife requires only 5 short treatment sessions, each lasting less than an hour. It's non-surgical, non-invasive, and patients can typically maintain their usual day-to-day lives. This June, during Men's Health Month, make sure to place an emphasis on discussing your health with family and medical professionals. Ask about family history of medical conditions or disease. To learn more about Cyberknife for prostate cancer treatment, go to swedish.org/cyberknifeprostate. Treat prostate cancer with Swedish Cyberknife.
Cyberknife is a registered trademark of Accuray Incorporated and is used with permission.
Do you owe $10,000 or more to the IRS like Will?
When I was 50, my whole life fell apart. I lost my job, I lost my wife, I lost the house, I lost pretty much everything except for my life. When the IRS came calling, I just didn't have it in me. I felt like Wile E. Coyote, just waiting for that IRS anvil to drop.
Then Will found Tax Relief Advocates.
I heard their advertisement on the radio, I wrote down the number, and I made the call that changed everything. The IRS gave me a bill for $40,000. Tax Relief Advocates got that down to $3,200. I've paid 9 cents on the dollar. Now that's a great deal in anybody's book.
If you owe 10 or even hundreds of thousands of dollars to the IRS, don't lose hope. Do what Will did and call TRA for a consultation.
But for me, the real win is I got my life back.
Visit TRA.com or call 800-488-4194. 800-488-4194. That's 800-488-4194.
Join the Dugout every Tuesday from 1 to 2 on the Bump Stacy Show, powered by Top Fitness. Top Fitness is your #1 place for home fitness and exercise equipment, with locations in Tukwila, Linwood, and Bellevue. Visit topfitness.com.
Endless hours of research, seeking referrals, dozens of calls. Hiring the right attorney can be a challenging process during an already difficult time. JP Pendergast with Pendergast Law explains.
In Washington State, Tom, there are thousands of attorneys to choose from. Referrals and online research can be helpful, but discovering the right attorney requires a conversation. It can be hard to identify integrity and authenticity without that interaction.
So, what do you recommend?
We encourage anyone looking for personal injury representation to call for a free consultation with our team before making a decision simply based on referrals or online research. Accident victims need an attorney that listens, demonstrates honesty, and is genuinely understanding of their unique circumstances. The care, attention, and preparation that our firm provides throughout the case mirrors the effort involved when taking on the insurance companies.
Save time and avoid mistakes after an injury. Contact the caring and compassionate team at Pendergast Law.
If you or a loved one has been injured in a car accident, call Pendergast Law. We can help.
Let's go! This is Seattle Sports.
Streaming through the Seattle Sports app.
KIRO AM Seattle. KIRO FM HD2 Tacoma. Home of the Seahawks, Mariners, and everything Seattle sports. Seattle Sports Snapshot.
The Mariners opened their series against the Angels with a win, and that included 2 home runs from Cole Young. Game 2 today at 6:40. Brian Wu on the mound. Pregame show starts at 5:30 on Seattle Sports.
Snapshot, brought to you by Miller Lite. When it's game time, it's Miller time. From the Quantum Fiber Studio,
this is Bump and Stacy
on Seattle Sports.
Streaming through the Seattle Sports app and at seattlesports.com.
Now, here are your hosts, Michael Bumpus and Stacy Ross.
Here we go now. 2 huge keys to unlocking the Seahawks offense. We have spent a lot of time talking about JSN, a lot of time talking about a new offensive coordinator, and obviously a ton of time under quarterback Sam Darnold. But instead, I'm going to focus on these, and I'll just say it off top. Rashid Shaheed and the tight ends. And that's because both were a subject of our conversation with Isaiah Stanback, and there's also a little bit of stuff from Jeremy Fowler. So first, Isaiah was on with us a bit earlier, and we asked him a little bit about kind of how the Seahawks get back, what they improve on, and take a listen to the part of the answer about Shaheed.
My biggest question, obviously they went out and they re-signed Rashid Shaheed. That was surprising to me that they gave him the bag like that. Kudos to him for getting the money, but I thought that they would have brought in more to contribute on the outside, because if you have one injury outside of JSN, I think that, that the receiving core is going to take a tremendous hit. So we'll see if they make any other additions, after training camp cuts. But I still believe that they need another piece on the outside and even some better tight end play to alleviate some of to free up JSN to do what he does best.
I'm actually going to start with a question. Isaiah thinks they actually might need another piece into that wide receiver room. Do you?
Nah.
Okay.
I think with Torrey Horton coming back, hopefully being healthy, I mean, Rashid Shaheed is that option. You weren't going to find Rashid Shaheed in free agency. And not only is he going to be a threat outside because he's going to have another year in this offense, he's going to be a threat in the return game as well. You got a 2-for-1 when it comes to that. You got Jason Cooper Hubb and Rashid Shaheed, and then you're hoping that Torrey Horton is healthy and ready to go. You got Cody White as well. I think they have enough. I also think I was a bit surprised with how much Rashid Shaheed got.
Yeah, I was going to ask a follow-up of why people might have been surprised.
I was a bit surprised with how much he got, but it made sense because it was like a domino effect. Once Kobe was gone and Rick was gone, it was like, all right, well, now we have some more money. We can take care of this guy. I don't think they're one injury away from something happening. I mean, every team is one injury away. If you got a starter go down, your backup was their backup for a reason. But, no, I like the starting 3, Jason Cooper Kupp, Rashid Shaheed. I think Torrey Horton's going to be good. And Cody White can contribute. You got the fan favorite Jake Bobo out there as well. No, I think they're fine at that position.
What are the questions then that the Seahawks still need to answer when it comes to Shaheed?
Can you develop a game plan that highlights who he is, and can he understand the offense for multiple positions? So teams just can't zero in on him. That's what makes JSN so special. One of the things is that you move him outside, inside, put him in the backfield, wherever you want, JSN can perform from. With Rashid Shaheed, because you got him halfway or more than halfway through the season, it was kind of a two-trick pony. It's like, all right, well, screen or deep. Screen or deep. Now you should be able to mix the bag up a little bit.
Can I interrupt with a question? When you said, well, you got him so late in the season, so it's kind of like screen or deep, is that just the limitations of, like, you haven't had an offseason to work with this guy? Like, incorporating a receiver into an offense midway through the season is pretty hard. Like, I guess what I'm asking is, are some of the limitations that I remember us talking about with Shaheed last year purely by virtue of him joining so late? Or are there, like, real Shaheed things?
I think there are things that he can work on at the receiver position.
Okay.
I think leverage, influence, and body language, spacing, timing, all that good stuff. Because he has so much speed to where you get a guy so late, you're going to make life as easy as possible for him. I think he's capable of doing a whole bunch of other stuff, but because you get him late, he's learning a new offense. I'm not sure how familiar the language was in New Orleans as it was here in Seattle. There's some things that are working against him. I don't know for sure, but he's a track guy. Like, when you think of Rashid Shaheed, there's no knock to him. I'm sure he's getting better at it. You never think, dang, he's a route runner. You know, you think of a guy who's going to use his speeds, get behind you. And I think that can limit you a bit if you're not able to run in breaking routes, double moves, out breaking routes, and do it with precision and understand how to get separation, which I'm sure he will get better at, because speed is something that's going to create separation. People are going to get out of their backfield and turn around fairly quickly. So I think it's a combination of things. It's him coming over here late. Does he know the offense at a high level? Can you move him around?
Yeah.
And working with Sam Darnold to get on the same page.
Here's my overall question when it comes to Shaheed. Isaiah is just being honest. Isaiah's just basically saying, surprised they spent that much money. I think he didn't say it outright, but I took it as, like, surprised at spending on that type of receiver with the limitations that he might have versus someone that can more quickly become a number one if you lose JSN. Like, I get what he's saying, I think. But I kind of want to, I need you to spin this for me and for listeners into, okay, instead of, hey, here are the limitations of Shaheed, how can Shaheed unlock another level to the offense? You know what I mean? Like, how can we instead look at this as, oh my God, like, there's a layer here that we weren't even able to get to last year?
It's pretty much just being able to run every single route with precision and to understand how to move. That's all receiver is how do I move people out of their spot to get to my spot when we're talking zone? How do I influence a false step or a turn that's not necessary while I'm in man? It's just perfecting the craft, and that's something that JSN is just really good at doing. And then when I look at what Rashid Shaheed is getting paid, $17 million a year, I mean, he's still down there. He's still like 20-something when it comes to the receiver position. It's not like
they threw a Brinks truck and they were like, be someone you're not.
No, there are a bunch of receivers in front of him. He's getting paid like a really good number 2 receiver, which I think that's what he can be. So it's the little things, man. And it's more, too, of getting on the same page with Sam. I talked about it yesterday. His body language is crucial. I can run a post. You can run a post. Curtis can run it. Bones can run it. And it's all going to look different. Now, a quarterback understands how you're going to get there, how Curtis is going to get there, how Bones is going to get there, how I'm going to get there. And it's like breathing. At some point, you think, okay, he hasn't given me that nod yet. He hasn't given me that step yet that indicates, okay, I'm almost at the top of my route. It's time to throw the football.
A little bit more on Shaheed here from Jeremy Fowler.
I did make some calls before I came to the show. A little bit of intel on Seattle. More motions and shifts in the offense. They will have that with Brian Fleury. I'm told that Sam Darnold's really comfortable with that. Rashid Shaheed, we know he's fast. Yeah. He had a major spring, I was told. He and Sam Darnold hitting it off. They're going to give him more. Some of those routes you saw that Jackson Smith and Jigba was running so well last year, he'll still do this, but they're going to give more short to intermediate stuff, too, to Rashid Shaheed. He's going to be a big-time player for them. They feel comfortable. Those tight ends are going to be moving all around with the motion that they're going to be doing.
Sound about right to you?
Yeah. The thing with route running, the shorter routes are almost harder to run at times than the longer routes, right? For a guy like me who's not as fast as Shaheed, the longer ones are going to be harder. But Shaheed, like those digs, those posts, are going to be easier for him because he's going to get off the line with so much speed that guys are going to get in their back pedal and turn around. The real route running comes in small spaces. Like, can I run a slant with a DB or safety, whoever has inside leverage on me, right? So inside leverage means the ball's to my left, I'm lined up, the DB's inside. He's at the point where I need to get. How do I get him to turn and run or wind up to get inside? That's where true route running comes in. And I think once he gets even better at that, now he gets the ball in his hands, full speed, he's gone, man. If he can learn just to move guys out of their spots and when they're close to him, I mean, he could be a really good receiver.
Okay, I have an X's O's type question, and because that's not my lane, I don't know that I'm articulating it right. If Rashid Shaheed is best when purely taking advantage of his speed as opposed to route running that could still use some refining, assuming other defenses...
He's not a bad route runner.
Right. Of course. This is all relative to, like, let's say JSN, your number one receiver. Yeah. Assuming opposing NFL defenses obviously know that. How can you get him into those positions without NFL defenses knowing exactly what you're trying to do? Does that make sense?
So how do I get him in?
Like, if you're somewhat more limited than JSN as a receiver, then how can I get you in those spots over and over and over and over?
What spots? Spots to go deeper?
Yeah.
Motion shifts. You got to influence the defense with your tendencies, right? If you come out in a tight 2x2 formation, you motion a guy over, you know there's going to be a safety rotation. Like, that's why you do these shifts in motions, that you're getting the defense to adjust on the fly. You get them to adjust on the fly. You have the advantage. That's why I watch CFL football. You're running forward towards the line of scrimmage. Receivers should win every time. So now we are shifting your motion, going left to right. You're trying to catch them in a rotation. Because what happens is there's communication going on. Even if it's man, sometimes it's man and they'll pass it off. The Hawks do this too. If they're in man coverage, they'll pass it off to a safety. Safety comes down, or nickel, whoever, and they cover that player. So what you're doing is it's the pre-snap dressing. You're trying to get guys uncomfortable, trying to catch them off guard, and you're trying to catch them in a rotation.
Love dressing. My favorite part of Thanksgiving.
Is it?
Mm-hmm.
Do you put gravy on it?
No.
What do you put on it?
On stuffing?
Yeah, just eat it dry like that.
It's not dry. It's moist and
delicious. I mean, it's moist, but no gravy.
No, I'll combine it with a little bit of mashed potatoes and a little bit of turkey.
What about what am I blanking out on that? Cherries. What's
cranberry sauce.
Cranberry sauce. Yes.
No, pass on. Miss me with the cranberry sauce.
That sets it off for me.
Okay. Took us off the rails, getting us back on. All right, 2 keys to unlocking the offense in 2026. So number 1, we explored Rashid Shaheed's speed and ways that the Seahawks can continue to unlock him and exploit that connection. Number 2, Isaiah mentioned those tight ends, and he kind of threw it in at the end. But I know that you have talked about this group many times, not just this season. So let's get back to it. Isaiah specifically said tight ends in the red zone and on third down. And to be fair, those are 2 areas I'd love to see the Seahawks take a step forward. Is that a good spot for A.J. Barner and Elijah Arroyo to continue to evolve?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, A.J. was second on the team when it comes to receiving touchdowns with 6. So clearly he's a target. He ain't the tight end that's going to take that thing 70 yards to the house. All of his touchdowns were inside the red zone or right outside the red zone. Oh, yeah, you got to see that. I mean, A.J. was the third leading receiver on this team with 519 when it comes to yards. When it comes to receptions, he was second on the team with 52. When it comes to touchdowns, he was second on the team with 6. So the tight ends, or the tight end position, has been a big part of this offense already. I think what Stanback is talking about is, can Arroyo take the next step? Because he was the guy who was supposed to be the mismatch. You can move him outside. When he was at Miami, he plays him outside receiver, move him in the slide, attach him to the line of scrimmage. If you can get 2 tight ends performing at a high level, that's going to help, because now you can come out in some run formations, some heavy run formations, run the ball, and then release these tight ends down the seam in the flat or the corner, whatever, and have them make some plays. Yeah, tight ends. I mean, I'm expecting a bigger year from A.J. Barner. And if you were to get a repeat year, 52 receptions, 519, and 6 touchdowns, and he was the 3rd leading receiver, you're good with that. So that means that Rashid Shaheed took a step up, and the tight ends are there. I wouldn't mind your tight end being your 3rd and your 4th leading receiver on this team.
Are tight ends the secret sauce to elite offenses?
I think so. I think in this offense it is.
Why?
And you look at who runs it. The Seahawks run it. Niners run it. The Rams run it. And because they are the influencers. They are the guys who set your personnel packages, right? You come out, is that tight end attached to the line of scrimmage? You're gonna bring a body into the box. You bring a body into the box, that's one less body on the outside. Now you can play action throw off of that. Also, a lot of the times, safeties and LBs, their key is the linebacker. The smart ones are looking at everybody. But to simplify it, some of the younger guys, they're looking at that tight end. What is that tight end doing? Is he down blocking? It's a run. Is he releasing? It's a pass. Like, he is a key. So you can play those games when you release him like it's a pass, you hand the football off. You down block like it's a run, you throw the football. It's reading their keys, and it's more than just a tight end. It's the offensive lineman as well. They have to be great with their influence when it comes to stepping down, show and run, not getting 2-3 yards down the field so they don't get that penalty. It's all influence, and tight ends influence defense a lot.
Do you have to be like the most elite tight end on the planet? Like, what I'm trying to get to is like, what's AJ Barner's ceiling as a player, and also what can a great version of AJ Barner mean for the Seahawks?
I think he'd be a top 3-4 tight end in the
3-4?
league. Yeah.
What about him do you love?
He does it all. He's a willing blocker. You look at that run K9 had in the Super Bowl, and him and Saubert celebrating like they ran the football in. Why? Because they're committed to the block. He has great hands. You look at that touchdown he had in the Super Bowl. He ran a quarter out, had to go up there, go catch the football. He can do it all. He can block. His routes are good. He has great hands. He can do it all. So, no, I think he has the capability of being a top 3 or 4.
Someone's really upset at the idea of me not liking gravy. I would like to just do a PSA that I think gravy is the third best thing about Thanksgiving. No, fourth if you include football. But it is the third best dish. Fourth best dish. I take it back because now I'm including mac and cheese.
Mac and cheese all day.
Yeah.
All day.
It's behind stuffing, though. Stuffing is number 1.
Stuff is number 1 to you?
You know what's wild? Turkey's like 5.
I'm really rock with the turkey, honestly.
Turkey's super dry, if we're going to be really honest. If I may just go back, if I were to re-edit Hype Train, I would say turkey is the driest, like, meat/bird.
So I put gravy on it.
I think if
turkey's not good.
Oven cook it, if you put it in the smoker, though, which
Who's got a smoker?
Brenda's stepdad does. He smokes turkey all the time.
Well, that sounds delicious and amazing.
Yeah.
I don't have a smoker at my disposal.
In your apartment? You don't have a big green egg in the middle of your living room?
I'm frying the turkey in my apartment. Oh, God. I just want to put that out there, that the reason that gravy's so good is because turkey needs it. And I didn't mean to end this by, like, saying turkey's the worst, but I think that that's appropriate. Let's get to headline rewrites.
Extra, extra, rewrite!
Headline rewrites.
We must make headlines.
The real story behind the headlines in today's news.
Powered by Bay Alarm Security Services.
With Bump and Stacy.
Headline number 1, bids were due to the NFL yesterday for the sale of the Seahawks. What's the real headline?
And if this is news to you now, you couldn't afford it. I found out this morning too, guys.
It's like, oh.
No one told me.
Weird.
Yeah.
What happened? What kind of notification do you get for that? Like, did these people?
Okay, can we just pause? I wonder so much about the different world. Yeah, like, do they have their own separate, like, everything? Where do they get their groceries? What are their banks? Like, I'm talking rich people, billionaires.
Did you hear the way Trump talked about groceries?
No.
He said, it's a new word, groceries. Old word, as a matter of fact. They go get their groceries. Like, he was talking about groceries as if he hasn't been to a grocery store, which he hasn't been in, like, maybe 50 years. The way he used the word and talked about it, he was so detached from just normal life. That's what we're talking about. These people don't go to the grocery store.
No.
Food just appears in there.
That's what I'm saying. I'm
cabinets.
Like, it's like how I felt when I was in college about, like, I know that all these athletes go to school with me, but I do not see them in my classes. I don't see them at my gym. I don't see them on campus. But that's how I feel about rich people in the real world, where I'm like, do they even
there was a
operate
segment,
with the same things?
Probably like 15, 20 years ago on the Ellen Show with Bill Gates. Both those people have been canceled in various ways over the last 4 or 5 years. But she was asking him, like, what the price of just basic grocery items were, and he had no idea. It's like, here's this gallon of milk. What do you think that price is? Like, I don't know, $20.
I mean, soon. It feels like.
Soon it'll be $20.
That feels pretty right.
And then I learned through a family member who has a government job, there are separate DMVs
That's what I
for
mean.
the rich and famous.
That's what I'm talking about. Like little things that you don't even think of.
They don't go to the DMV like you and I.
Yeah.
They go to a secret famous person DMV.
Anyways, the reason we're talking about this is we don't know who the new owner is, but that's the news. The bids were due Monday.
Headline rewrites.
Headline number 2, LeBron James has informed the Lakers he will not be returning to them next season. What's the real headline?
Who gets Bronny in the divorce?
LeBron James is a great businessman. What he did was wait to tell the Lakers that he's not going to be with them. He waited until his son's contract was fully guaranteed before he told them the news. So good on LeBron for that, taking care of his son. And you know what, LeBron, thank you for 8 years. Shot over 50% from the field, averaged about 25 points, brought a championship to L.A. But I'm almost relieved that he's not going to be a Laker anymore because now I can cheer for the Lakers the way I want to cheer for the Lakers. I respect LeBron is like Drake to me. I don't particularly
Drake the rapper?
Drake the rapper. I don't really
And
like
actor.
Drake, but I know what he means to the culture.
Right.
I respect what he means.
Sure.
You know,
And
but
the guy can produce and make music.
I don't produce it. He can make music. He got ghost writers and producers for him. But I respect who he is. That's who LeBron is. I respect who you are to the game. 23 years is crazy.
Yeah.
I know that you're great, but because of my alliances, I could never just stand up and cheer for him.
Where do you guys think he goes?
I think he's going to Cleveland.
I think Golden State. Just
Why
finishing
Golden
off
State?
with his buddies.
Okay, and why Cleveland over Golden State?
I think he wants to win another championship, and Cleveland's where he's from. They got a good squad. Why not run it back?
Next up.
Headline rewrites.
Headline number 3, a pair of stunners in the World Cup yesterday. Paraguay eliminating Germany and Morocco beating Netherlands in penalty kicks. What's the real headline?
By beating Paraguay 4-1 in group play, we can definitively say the U.S. has passed Germany as a soccer nation.
Simmer down now.
Who's next? That's what I always say.
Who's next?
Yeah,
Who's next?
Who wants to get lapped here?
Who wants these hands? I wouldn't go that far. I think the 4-1 win was great. I also think that we have home field advantage, and I think that first game in pool play is like week 1 in the NFL. You really don't know what you're going to get, what tactics are going to be pulled out. So now you know Bosnia's been watching film. They know what the U.S. likes to do. I think it's going to be a tough one, but I think the U.S. gets it done. But the games yesterday were great. I love seeing Morocco. Someone texted in. Morocco went to the semis last time. They're good. Yes, they are good. Great nation. Won the U20s World Cup. But going against Germany, they were the underdog, even though they're higher ranked than them. This Germany has a tradition. They've won some World Cups as well. On the other side, man, Paraguay was Paraguay. That was emotional. Seeing that small country of 7 million do their thing. I don't know how far they've ever gotten. Maybe this is the furthest. Maybe they've been a little further. But no, I love seeing the underdogs get her done.
I'm going to revisit the question I asked earlier, but I know that there are people very closely tracking this for obvious reasons. Who's on upset alert of the big dogs?
The big dogs. Let me pull up the schedule real quick.
Okay.
Let me pull it up. Bam, bam. It's going to be tough, man. I think France is going to be fighting against Sweden. I think England's going to beat Congo. That would be so great to see Congo win. I think Spain's going to be good against Austria. I think Argentina's going to wax Cape Verde.
I'm going to pause here. Between Argentina and France, who feels likeliest to actually get this?
To win the whole thing?
To win the whole thing.
I think France is more talented. I think Argentina's just destined. Some teams just have that.
Yeah.
I mean, you got the GOAT.
Messi keeps going.
Messi, after this tournament, to me, he's officially the GOAT. Like, no
also
one,
because
no one's
Ronaldo's
touching Messi.
struggling.
He had a goal last game, I think. But yeah, even before this, I was Team Messi anyway. After this, I'm definitely Team Messi. Yeah.
Just unreal. How old is he?
39.
God.
Yeah.
Coming up, taking a look around the NFL, we have all Mariners from 1 to 2. Shannon, Drayer joining us at 1. Also, want to let you guys know, if you know a woman who gives her all to the sports community.
Stacy.
Me encourages diversity and empowers those around her. I empower you guys. Seattle Sports is don't vote for me. Seattle Sports is partnering with the Seattle chapter of WISE, which stands for Women in Sports and Events. Together, we want to recognize a woman in our community, and we need your help finding her. Nominations for the 4th annual Women of Inspiration Award are open now until July 10th. The winner will receive a donation to the cause of their choice. Nominate an inspiring woman at woiseattle.org before the deadline. Taking a look around the NFL next.
Seattle Sports, home of Brock and Salk, morning 6 to 10.
The Mariners have now scored 3 runs or fewer in 11 consecutive games. So what's the deal?
Yeah, you don't have a Mariner on pace to hit 30 home runs. A lot of frustration on that overnight text toy. Why there's a lot of frustration in the socials.
Because you know that as bad as and as bleak as things are today, the sun will come out tomorrow, if you'll excuse the Annie reference.
Sun will come out tomorrow.
Watch live or later on the Seattle Sports YouTube channel.
Hey, Brock Hewitt here for my friends over there at People Come First Construction Group. You know I love my acronyms, PCF. They designed and built our outdoor living space for Molly and I, and we just loved it. And right now, PCF is making it easier than ever to get started on your new dream deck with 50% off your custom professional design and architectural drawing package. That means you can save over $9,000 on your project. And with 12 months of no interest, no payment financing, you can design your deck now and pay later. You know, most people who start with a design package end up with the exact outdoor space they've always wanted and dreamed of. This offer is your first step. Do what we did and contact PCF Construction Group today. Get your project ideas, browse amazing photos, and find all the offer details at PCFgroup.com. That's PCFgroup.com.
Making your outdoor space your favorite place. With People Come First.
All right, summer's here at Snoqualmie Casino and Hotel. Mike Salk here, and you can check out upcoming shows like the Pop 2000 Tour with Chris Kirkpatrick of NSYNC, O-Town, Ryan Cabrera, and LFO on August 1st. If you need a laugh, comedy legend David Spade visits on August 15th, or you can relive the 80s with pop sensation Taylor Dane on September 6th. All the tickets are at snocasino.com. You can experience luxury with breathtaking Cascade views, world-class dining, and play your favorite games. Elevate your next getaway. That's Seattle's closest Snoqualmie Casino and Hotel. Please game responsibly.
Why compromise when you can drive home the exact Mazda you want? At Mazda of Everett, the West Coast's largest Mazda dealer, you'll find over 200 new Mazda CX-50s in stock. Available with 0% financing for 36 months on approved credit. Shop from every color, package, and feature. And receive the Mazda of Everett price. Shop Mazda of Everett on Highway 99 in Everett or online at MazdaofEverett.com. Based on Mazda USA 2025 sales numbers.
I started Davis Law Group in 1994 to fight for the underdog. And as our team has grown, we've stayed true to that mission. Today, Davis Law Group is known for providing excellent service and even better results. Visit WashingtonAccidentBooks.com to get your free book on car accident law.
Heat up your 4th of July at the Home Depot with our wide variety of grills under $300 and make every gathering one to remember. Give your outdoor space a glow up. Whatever your budget is, with savings on seasonal plants starting at $5. With the grill fired up and your backyard set to perfection, you'll be able to invite friends and family over to kick off the party. Start celebrating with low prices guaranteed at the Home Depot. Prices may vary by store. Exclusions apply. See HomeDepot.com/price match for details.
Back to school starts now. Get long-lasting battery life on the Dell XPS laptop powered by Series 3 Intel Core so you can work from anywhere. Now starting at $699 with exclusive student pricing starting at $599. Complete your setup with savings on select monitors and must-have electronics and accessories. Limited time deals and free shipping on PCs and more await you at Dell.com/deals. That's Dell.com/deals.
What is that sound? Ugh, that sounds like a plumbing sound. Luckily, there's a company that fixes all the plumbing sounds across Puget Sound. That's All Sound Plumbing. Puget Sound's plumbing experts. Have a sound? Visit allsoundplumbing.com.
Mariners and Angels tonight at T-Mobile. 6:40 first pitch, pregame at 5:30. Every pitch, every game, one app for free. The Seattle Sports app.
Hey, I'm not one to say I told you so, but do you remember last year when I told you that Pure Talk was hands down the best wireless company that I'd ever used? Well, some of you were skeptical, but Consumer Reports just asked 120,000 people to rate every wireless company in America, including the big boys. Well, guess which company was the only company to get 5 stars in every category? Yeah, Pure Talk. Coverage, support, value, data. 5 stars across the board. No service contracts, no cancellation fees, just great U.S. customer service on a crazy fast 5G network for a fraction of what you've been paying. I'm not going to say I told you so, but I will encourage you one more time to dial pound 250, say micro, and switch to a 5-star American wireless company that won't let you down. Pure Talk.
After years of football and the injuries that go with it, my first thought was always go get surgery. Hey, it's Dave Wyman, but after a consultation with Dr. Mark Wagner, MD at Seattle Sports and Regenerative Medicine, my eyes were open to an alternative to surgery, and I'm talking about stem cell therapy. Well, and my buddy and co-host Bob Stelton, also in pain, and decided to go see Dr. Wagner.
I had a hip issue from 14 years of jiu-jitsu.
How's the pain now?
Everything I did before, I can do just as well. Hitting the heavy bag, sparring, rolling, all of that is back in play. This whole thing has been such a pleasant surprise because I really was of the mindset, I'm going to have to go under the knife. I'm going to have to get surgery. And this really saved me from that. I could not be happier with the results.
Whether it's a hip like Bob had, a shoulder, a knee, a wrist, an ankle, before you choose surgery, consider stem cell therapy with Dr. Mark Wagner, MD at Seattle Sports and Regenerative Medicine.
Do it. You will not regret it.
Hey, get the facts, hear from all the patients I've talked to, and schedule your consultation at drmarkwagnermd.com.
From the Quantum Fiber Studio.
This is Bump and Stacy.
Weekdays 10 to 2.
On Seattle Sports and 97.3 FM HD2.
The Terrion Arnold story was already getting absolutely insane, and now it's led to the end of his career, at least with Detroit. The Lions released their 2024 first-round pick after his arrest on felony kidnapping and armed robbery charges.
Yeah, he tripping. We'll see what happens here. Apparently, they're at an Airbnb. He has some stuff stolen, some luxury goods, $100,000 cash, a Rolex, Louis bags. And he thought the person who stole it was in the building with him, in the Airbnb with him. Allegedly hired his friends to go shake him down and get her done. So this is just why. You're at this point in your career, still in your rookie contract. At any point, even in life, like, why put yourself in this situation? But especially when you're going to have a long career in the NFL. It just ain't worth it. Take the L, call the police, file a police report, see what happens, and just move on.
That's what I don't get. It's like you threw your career away, and it was based purely on pride. Because I guarantee you, with that much money, you had those things insured. At the very least, the ability to repurchase them.
Yeah.
And instead, you know what I mean? Like, you did not need to, no one ever needs, even if you can't afford to repurchase things, no one needs to, like, assault and kidnap anyone or have their friends do it, allegedly. We have to keep throwing that in.
Keep throwing it out there.
Especially when they're not the ones that did it. That's another wrinkle to this. But also, like, it's clearly entirely based on defending your own pride and ego, and now you're not even with the Lions. The obviously not as important, but football-related question is whether that means much for the Lions defense. They do have one of the easiest schedules in the NFL this year.
Yeah, they do, but they can't associate themselves with that type of behavior. Nick Saban wrote a letter in Arnold's behalf, so we'll see how far that takes him.
Next up, sticking with the Lions, former Detroit quarterback Matthew Stafford was asked by Chris Long, which hurts more, seeing Cooper Kupp play for Seattle or getting booed by Lions fans whenever he plays in Detroit?
They both suck, to be honest with you. But no, I don't know. I'm honestly, I'm really happy for Cooper. Obviously, love the guy, great player. Obviously, you can see what he did to help that team be what they were this year. And I like, the organization in Detroit, the people there. Now, wasn't fired up about, and listen, here's what I would say. I signed up to play football. Treat me however you want to treat me. Just don't treat my family like you treated my family. And that's the problem I had with it. They want to boo me because they're fired up about a game. That's fine. And I kind of expected, the boos when I went back to Detroit. And then I guess when Cooper left, I didn't think I'd be seeing him twice a year in division, but, happy for him and obviously happy for his success.
What do you think would actually hurt more? I'm going to say the boos. That would bother me more.
I don't think anything bothers him. I think Matthew Stafford is at a place in his career, in his life, to where he acknowledges it, but it's not like, man, why they pull me, man?
I would get it, but I would feel a way about it because I'd be going there like, this Detroit organization has failed over and over and over again for a long time. Him and Calvin Johnson and a handful, and this is more modern era. You could point back to Barry Sanders if you wanted, but him and Calvin Johnson and a handful of defensive guys were like the best thing for that team, for an organization that failed everywhere else around them. So I'd be like, I don't know why you're booing me.
He'll be applauded once he retires.
Yeah.
Right now, he's the ops, so he's supposed to get booed. I don't think it bothers him one bit. I think it bothers, like he said, the way they treat his family.
Are the Texans and C.J. Stroud progressing towards a new extension? ESPN's Jeremy Fowler says it's not on the cards at the moment.
Not a lot of momentum on a deal. Talks are essentially on pause as of now. Now, Houston has been aggressive paying players. They've been paying defensive players like Daniil Hunter, Will Anderson, Azeez Al-Shaair. So if they want to take care of Stroud, they're going to have to make some progress this summer. Otherwise, there are some people around the league who very much believe he will play out the fourth year of his deal, try to get his value up. This is similar to the Trevor Lawrence situation a couple years ago. You have a top pick who showed some good, some bad. You got to decide, do you pay him early or do you wait?
I like that comp to Trevor Lawrence a ton, Bump, because the C.J. Stroud extension, whenever it ends up happening, is really fascinating to me. I know we don't keep a close eye on what's going on with the Texans here in Seattle, and C.J. Stroud isn't one of the league's single best quarterbacks, so we aren't talking about him the way that we would someone like Patrick Mahomes or Josh Allen. But that's kind of what makes it interesting. He's clearly the Texans franchise guy. They used a number 2 overall pick on him. And, 3, sorry. Will Anderson, 2. I don't remember.
Yeah, he was 2.
Yeah.
Yep.
2. Okay. They made him their guy, and he has been both absolutely electric as a rookie and then an absolute mess, most recently in his last game of 2025. I don't know what that looks like. Like, what does that contract look like?
He is one of those quarterbacks that if you pay, he has the potential to let you down like a Tua, right? Tua got paid at 1 year, got paid, and his timing about this is everything. His timing of 4 plays was jacking him up at this point. If he had 5 more touchdowns and 3 less interceptions and played in 2 more games, he'd be in the bag right now. But I think they're doing the right thing with this because he has more mediocre seasons than all-pro, Pro Bowl type of season. So you got to take your time with this. I think he plays this thing out, and if it doesn't work out, they look for his replacement.
Jeremy Fowler also has a brief update on Zach Charbonnet's ACL injury, tweeting, Charbonnet has a late July checkup on his knee. By all indications, he's progressing well. The Seahawks have been impressed with rookie running back Jadarian Price's open field vision so far. Kind of 2 things for you to respond to there. 1, what it means to get Charbonnet back and how soon that might be. And 2, the good news about Jadarian Price.
Listen, Zach Charbonnet, you take your time. He's so important to this offense that you don't want to rush anything. And that's why you got Jadarian Price. 1, because Ken Walker's leaving, and 2, or left, and 2, you just don't know what Zach Charbonnet is going to look like. So, look, when the season starts, Price should be getting the bulk of the carries. Hold on tight, Zach Charbonnet. I'm glad that's good news. You're progressing, you're doing your thing, but there's no need to rush.
I have horrible news for Caleb Williams in his attempt to trademark Iceman. It didn't work. He got denied by the U.S. Patent and Trademark Office. I don't know if it was Drake stepping in. They were both recently fighting over it when neither of them really have that over Gervin, obviously. But yeah, that didn't work. So he will not be able to trademark the word Iceman for any merchandise. I didn't know until the trademark story became a thing and you had a bunch of Chicago fans pretending they never heard the name before. I didn't even know that people were calling him that.
Maybe it feels like a self-appointed nickname.
That's
I think
my
it was
thing.
internal. I think it was inside the building they were calling him that.
Okay, because
his teammates were.
I'm glad Curtis said that because I hate self-appointed nicknames. Okay? My nickname, if I could choose, would not be Crybaby Stacy. But you live with what you're given.
Yeah,
and some people are just
given.
blessed with cool nicknames.
But I think a teammate started calling him that, and then he just kind of ran with it. But it's not like the league calls him Iceman.
I guess Bump is really your nickname. I was going to ask if you'd ever had another.
No, that's it.
Yeah. No one ever called you Iceman. Something really cool.
No.
Next and last story. ESPN Seth Walder has his offseason grades for all 32 teams. Good news for Seattle. The grade was pretty decent. Bad news, it was still a B-. His biggest move, obvious, Same one for all of us, I'm guessing. Extending wide receiver Jackson Smith-Njigba. Move he liked, extending offensive tackle Charles Cross. And then the move that got knocked, and this is interesting because out of all the departures, for him, it was not Ken Walker, it was not Reef Woolen, it was letting edge Boye Mafe leave in free agency.
I'm okay with that. He was getting he got $20 million a year over 3 years. And I don't think the Hawks would or should have paid that. So hopefully it works out for him over there with the Bengals. I'm glad he got his money. But I was okay with it. At that number, I would love to keep Boye Mafe or would have kept Boye Mafe. But at that number, I'm good.
It is interesting. He just said he's less fond of the choice of Derek Hall over Boye Mafe.
It wasn't Derek Hall over Boye Mafe. It was Derek Hall's price tag over Boye Mafe's price tag. It's not the player, it's the number.
You know what I'm going to do right now?
What?
One of these. Period. I love
Clock it.
Clock it. I'm watching too much Love Island. And I'll stop because I know it's driving listeners crazy too, but I can't help it. It was a great point that you made, so I had to do it. All Mariners from 1 to 2. Shannon, Drayer kicking things off at 1. Before that, we need your questions for what I need to know. Sports, non-sports, doesn't matter. 866-979-3776. Text now.
Seattle Sports, home of Wyman and Bob.
Is Sam Darnold worth $55 million a year?
Afternoons 2 to 7.
I think he's worth it. I do too. That's going to be a low-sounding number here very quickly. He's not an ego guy who's going to be, let me cook, let me chuck it all over the yard. I don't think he is going to think, hey, I deserve $55 million. I think he's willing to work for that. Similar results next year, then we'll start talking about that.
Watch live or later on the Seattle Sports YouTube channel.
One thing you may not know about me is I was pretty nice on the soccer pitch. Bump here. With football taking over our region this summer, it makes me think back to the love of the sport. I'm excited to hear about our listeners getting into the matches and falling in love with the sport, too. I love hearing from our listeners who make it up to Silver Reef Casino Resort. I've been telling you guys it's a hidden gem here in the Northwest. You have to visit it. This summer is perfect for a road trip where you can just enjoy your destination. Book a tee time at Loomis Trails Golf Course and visit Silver Reef Casino Resort. Make a weekend out of it or take a personal day and enjoy the nice weather. Why? Because you deserve it. Relax in deluxe room, enjoy a meal at the steakhouse, have some fun at their sports restaurant, and enjoy the Cantina, authentic Mexican restaurant. The food is excellent. Plenty of reasons to go up there, and I haven't even mentioned the spa yet. I've done that too. It's relaxing. Put on that roll. Feel like a king or a queen. Book your stay at silverreefcasino.com. Silver Reef Casino Resort, silverreefcasino.com.
Hey, it's Mike Salk here. And summer in Western Washington, you know it means trips to the beach, summer barbecues, little golf, that vacation maybe you've been looking forward to. Well, when you take those pictures this summer, don't you want to look and feel your very best? Eastside Weight Loss Clinic can help, and trust me, you can do this so fast. I lost 15 pounds just in the first 2 weeks, 35 pounds after 8 weeks. How about that? There's time, so what are you waiting for? Schedule a 15-minute, no-obligation consultation right now at eastsideweightlossclinic.com. Here's what to expect. Safe, healthy, sustainable weight loss, no exercise, no pills, no injections, no surgery. You're eating all real food that you buy at the grocery store. You will lose weight and you will look and feel your very best. That feeling, it's just on the other end of your 15-minute consult. What's the secret? You'll find out in only 15 minutes with Eastside Weight Loss Clinic. Schedule your quick intro today at eastsideweightlossclinic.com. That's eastsideweightlossclinic.com. Dr. Ryan Coogan, D.C. Results may vary.
For over 50 years, Bucky's Complete Auto Repair has been the one locals trust for honest pricing, expert service, and guaranteed repairs. This dedication has earned them a Carfax Preferred designation. At Bucky's, every customer gets detailed Carfax updates, timely service reminders, and a full service history, all at your fingertips. With 16 family-owned locations, no appointment needed, and easy financing, Bucky's makes auto care simple. Visit Bucky's.com today and drive with confidence. Bucky's.com.
June is Men's Health Month, and Swedish Cyberknife is encouraging men to talk about their own health with family members and medical professionals. Swedish Cyberknife can effectively treat conditions like prostate cancer, which can run in the family. Swedish Cyberknife requires only 5 short treatments, each lasting less than an hour. To learn more about Cyberknife for prostate cancer treatment, go to swedish.org/cyberknifeprostate. Treat prostate cancer with Swedish Cyberknife.
Cyberknife is a registered trademark of Accuray Incorporated and is used with permission.
Caregiving isn't just hard work, it's heart work. Every day, caregivers bring dignity, kindness, and comfort to those who need it most. Right now, Washington needs more caring hearts. Your kindness, your patience, your heart are needed more than ever. Caregiver Careers Washington will guide you every step of the way. Our friendly navigators help you find training, certification, and employment at no cost to you. Start your heart work today at caregivercareerswa.com. That's caregivercareerswa.com.
Sponsored by DSHS and aired by the WSAB in this station.
Mariners and Angels tonight at T-Mobile. 6:40 first pitch pregame at 5:30. Every pitch, every game, one app for free. The Seattle Sports app.
If the world were like a Sleep Number mattress, everything would adapt for your comfort. Because as your life changes and your body changes, Sleep Number mattresses adapt and shift to give you personalized comfort night after night. And right now, new mattresses start at $1,500 during our 4th of July sale. Plus, get a free base with select mattress purchases. To experience a whole new world of comfort, visit a Sleep Number store or go to sleepnumber.com. Sleep Number, to a good life sleep.
I know that hiring can be challenging. You need someone to match your role perfectly. Well, now you can meet them fast on ZipRecruiter.
Build your team, build it sooner. Meet your match on ZipRecruiter.
Just head to ZipRecruiter.com/free right now to try it for free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Meet your match on ZipRecruiter. Try it free.
Tired of hearing scary radio ads about the IRS? Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000 or $500,000, we have a solution. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS with zero risk to you. We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with a BBB. End your tax nightmare today by visiting TRA.com or call 800-583-6681. That's 800-583-6681.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm, and Chuck McDowell definitely not an attorney. This is Chuck. If someone talked you into buying something really silly and you want to get out of that silly little thing, my advice, get the facts. Call me and I'll send you our timeshare exit kit absolutely free. Inside, you'll learn how timeshare works and all your options for cancellation.
Call Wesley now for your free exit info kit. 800-572-3344. That's 800-572-3344.
From the Quantum Fiber Studio.
This is Bumpin' Stacy.
Weekdays 10 to 2.
On Seattle Sports and 97.3 FM HD2.
Get your questions in for What I Need to Know. Sports, non-sports, doesn't matter. 866-979-3776. What I Need to Know. We were just talking about nicknames and how you can't appoint one yourself. Someone said, so my childhood nickname was Moose, and I've always kind of wanted it revived. Is that the same as giving yourself a nickname if it was at one point given to you by someone else?
Yeah, no revising nicknames. It is what it is. Even if you don't like it.
Yeah, have to be brought to life naturally. You can't have we learned these lessons from Frankenstein. You know what I mean? Like, you can't just bring things back to life that don't belong to life. I don't know that that's...
But he's not trying to bring it back to life.
Right, and I don't know that that's actually the message and theme of Frankenstein, but you guys get what I'm saying. Right?
Can't change your nickname. You know what you do? Hang out with a different group of people.
And get a new nickname.
And maybe get a new nickname.
Curtis, what's your ruling?
Yeah, you can't bring it back.
Yeah.
I mean, we've brought back Crybaby Stacy, though, so I think...
That's true. It actually is worse that Crybaby Stacy was a nickname given to me, started by my sister in elementary school, that spread like wildfire because I cried.
Always the ones closest to you.
One time in 4th grade.
I think you were a habitual crier.
We don't need to talk about it. And then it was brought back at work as an adult.
Years later, yeah.
Years later. But only because I told the story, and then now it won't go away, and I'm Crybaby Stacy forever until I die. 866-979-3776. We have some non-sports ones, too. I have one about Dan Wilson. I want to get this one first, because I don't know where it's coming from. When and how did fry sauce become a thing?
When's the first time I had fry sauce?
It's good. I like fry sauce.
Bomb. But I was in my teenage years the first time I had fry sauce. I just don't know where I had it.
I just had some for the first time.
What?
When we went to the Super Bowl.
Really?
Yeah.
You serious?
Yeah, those fries, when we stopped at the place at the airport and they had fries and I dipped it in that sauce, that was the first time having fry sauce. It was pretty good.
Yeah, I bet it was.
Yeah, it's really good.
Yeah, I don't know if you guys have had it before, but it's solid. I was like, this is awesome. What is this?
It's
is
interesting
this
that it has a bit of a sweetness to it.
Yeah.
You don't expect it.
Mm-hmm.
Pow! Right in your taste buds.
What I need to know is Dan Wilson's job safe?
For now.
Yeah, I think yes for now, and I think as long as you've got the clubhouse. Yes.
Yep.
Yeah. I didn't mean for that to sound disappointing. I just think that's the reality of the job is like, if you still have guys believing in you and listening, you only risk hurting a clubhouse by moving on from someone.
Yeah, I think he's good.
Yeah. 866-979-3776. What I need to know, how do you guys feel about MMA and the UFC? Is it the coolest or just incredibly stupid?
No, I like it. I like it. It's I like it better than boxing. And the reason why is because boxing is so corrupt. And the leaders of the UFC are, they in bed with the wrong people too. But at least I feel like the product in the octagon is real.
Oh, this one was from a couple days ago. I'm actually going to... So they asked this during a separate show, but it just pulled up on the text line, and I do want you to answer this question. If Ref Snyder starts to get hot, would that start changing your mind on him?
Of course it would.
This was us just before he went on the IL.
Of course it would. Yeah.
What I need to know, does my friend lose his man card for always coming to our poker game of 10 people with a six-pack? I'm assuming that's just for him.
Nah, it depends. Like, he's contributing. I hope everyone else is bringing something. But no, you got to bring at least 12, though. At least 12.
You can. I feel like one of the biggest cardinal rules of if you're bringing something to a party. Now, if it's BYOB and the idea is you don't have to supply something for the entire party, fine. But, like, if you are ever attending something with, like, hey, this is for everyone, to not have enough for one per person for the people there, no.
Nah, if I'm going to a spot where there's like 20-some people,
Bro.
I'm bringing the 12-pack.
Just get one more six-pack.
Bringing a bottle.
Yeah.
Nah. No.
No?
No.
If you show up to a poker game where 10 guys show up,
no,
every
that's
single time,
fine. 12-pack's fine. But if there's 20 people at this thing,
absolutely, that's fine.
No,
but that's usually why people are like, yeah, just bring whatever. But if I'm showing up to a dinner at my friend's house and she's hosting a bunch of people, hey, what should I bring? And how many people are there? I feel like that's a standard thing.
Yeah.
Doesn't lose the man card for it, but he definitely loses the manners card.
He loses the
I don't
I'm
think
taking it from him. Like, bruh.
That's
all for you?
That's a yellow card on manners.
It's a yellow card.
What I need to know, Bump, how was the golf trip?
It was great. I played 2 rounds in St. Cadia. I played 2 rounds at Gamble, Scarecrow, and played Bear Mountain. It was beautiful.
What I need...
Golf courses always sound like neighborhood names.
It does.
Roaring Meadows.
In the NBA, players had era. Do they mean aura? Era? And I'm just going to read it verbatim. In the NBA, players had era. 80s Bird/Magic, 90s Jordan, 2000s Kobe/Duncan. What about the 10s? Is it LeBron, Moore, or Curry?
I think they mean aura.
No, they mean era. They're talking era. They said 80s were.
Oh, got it.
80s were
Yeah, like
Magic,
that was the
Bird,
era of whatever. Okay, okay.
The 10s are LeBron and Curry for sure.
Yes.
Yeah.
I would say, it's more LeBron than Steph.
Here's a better question. I had this debate with my buddy. Who changed the game more, LeBron or Steph Curry?
Steph Curry.
Exactly.
Yes.
I'm trying to come up with a counterpoint to
LeBron's
this
skill
to make
set
LeBron.
is, you can't replicate his skill set. It's so unique. It's unique to himself. Whereas Steph,
It was
if you're in the league, you can shoot.
And Steph found a way to make something more. And you guys are more knowledgeable about this than me, but I feel like the thing is finding a way to make something more efficient. In this case, scoring. Right?
He made the data nerds come out. And be
That's
like,
what I'm
it's
saying.
actually better to shoot more threes.
You can't.
Than not.
You
It
can't
also
just be
helps
like,
that
get
he
LeBron.
is the greatest shooter of all time.
That's a really good one, though. That's a good bar top convo. Who changed the game more?
I think most people say Curry. If they know ball, they'll say Curry.
Well, what if you had to apply it to a previous era? Because
Jordan and Curry have changed the game more than anyone who's ever played
more than
basketball.
Kobe, more than Shaq.
Kobe
Wilt
just mimicked
maybe
Jordan.
is in that conversation too, because people were not dunking quite like him.
Here's the thing about Wilt and Russell. They were just bigger than everybody else. And Russell, rest in peace, one of the greatest of all time. He was the only black dude in the league. You know what I mean? Like the borders weren't expanded yet. for Russell.
Then between Jordan and Curry, a bigger impact on basketball.
Well, Jordan he made it global.
Okay. I like that answer. Because Curry just... That's what it is now.
Everyone's shooting tray balls. Yeah.
And I don't know how anyone changes that. Like, I don't know. Like, is there a current player right now that you go, man, if this guy becomes generational, he could change?
Yeah.
Wemby. 7'5" would handle shooting threes. We don't see that.
But doesn't that kind of fall into, like, the LeBron basket of, like...
Well, you can find 7-footers. LeBron is, like, 6'8" and just strong.
Well, yeah, but what I'm saying is, like, it's harder to replicate a type of person and a unique skill set than it is to replicate an approach to scoring.
Yeah, but I think we'll see 7-footers attempting to do that too, though.
Yeah.
There's 7-footers all across the league.
So it said Aura. Please read it like you're under 25. I couldn't tell. I saw a tweet the other day that said, it was from a teacher, and she said, I've started to write students with no aura on the whiteboard, and I put kids that aren't working, and the classroom has been peace.
That's smart.
I just saw that yesterday, so I was thinking of that immediately. You're listening to Bump and Stacy on Seattle Sports and the Seattle Sports app. Coming up, it's the Dugout All Mariners, starting with Shannon Drayer.
MLB Network insider John Morosi with Wyman and Bob.
How do we assess this Mariner team? What do we do?
The main guys that you need to carry the water here, Cal, bad first half, okay. Julio has struggled of late. Donovan has been a non-factor. Naylor hasn't had a good year. I mean, that's the explanation. If this team's going to get back to where they were last year. And they can still do it. The fixes are there.
Subscribe to Seattle Sports on YouTube and watch the full interview.
Law Tigers was born from a passion for the open road. Over 25 years ago, they saw a community that has each other's backs. Hey, it's Bob Stelton here, and I've been writing for quite a while now, and I tell you, it's nice to know these guys are in my corner if I ever need them. Law Tigers was built by writers for writers, protecting what matters most, your freedom, your family, and the ride. They're here 24/7, 365 days a year because writers deserve real support whenever they need it. Your case evaluation is always free, and there are no fees until your case settles. They're going to help you get your bike and your gear repaired or replaced because they know how much those things mean to you. So if you're injured in a motorcycle accident, give them a call, 1-800-LAW-TIGERS, or visit lawtigers.com. Again, that's 1-800-LAW-TIGERS. Because every ride you take, your freedom could be on the line. With Law Tigers, you never ride alone. Law Tigers, Washington's motorcycle lawyers. Cook Law Office, PLLC, 539 Broadway, Unit 104, Tacoma, Washington, 98402.
This is for all you guys on Viagra. ED pills are no longer needed. The brutal side effects like 4-hour headaches, blurred vision, and that flush feeling can all be put behind you with our treatment. Here at West Coast Men's Health, we have a better approach to ED. Acoustic wave therapy creates blood flow circulation by safely removing the plaque in your arteries and restoring function naturally. Guys, let me be clear. Pills will never fix your problem. Our equipment is the latest technology, and our medical staff is the best in the industry. So give West Coast Men's Health a call today. Speak with our clinic manager. Ask him any question you like, how it works, the science behind it, and even the cost. If you suffer from ED or Peyronie's disease, give West Coast Men's Health a call today.
In addition to treating ED and Peyronie's disease, we now offer testosterone replacement therapy. With clinics in Redmond and Tacoma, call 206-519-6541. 206-519-6541. Online at westcoastmenshealth.com.
Your neighbors at 3 Tree Roofing love telling you no. No high-pressure sales pitches. No Band-Aid fixes that will fail come wintertime. No outrageous pricing from some corporate-owned roofing company with headquarters thousands of miles from here. 3 Tree Roofing is local, family-owned, and their team will build you a worry-free plan for your roof replacement, completely free. Visit 3treeroofing.com to schedule your free estimate and call today to say yes to an additional $500 discount. That's 3 Tree Roofing, your Puget Sound roofing experts.
Your old water heater's starting to peter. DayandNight.net. Day and Night has $150 off installation of any new water heater, including tankless, backed by a free lifetime warranty.
Hi, I'm Bruce. When your old water heater leaks or fails, the damage could be catastrophic. Whether you need an emergency replacement or you're planning ahead before it leaks, give us a call and we'll help you get into hot water again.
Get $150 off installation of any new water heater.
DayandNight.net.
Hey, baseball fans, Rick Riz here. I'm excited to introduce you to my good friend Keith Dashafee, owner of Pella Windows and Doors of Western Washington. Keith?
Thanks, Rick. Improve your play with 25% off windows and doors or 12 months, no interest, and no payments. We're also giving back to the community with 2 $5,000 scholarships for our local youth sports teams. Upgrade your home today at PellaPNW.com.
That's fantastic, Keith. Don't wait. Schedule your free appointment today at PellaPNW.com.
Listen every morning to Brock and Salk for Need to Know, powered by Marquee Data. Marquee IQ brings all your data together into one clear view. Stop running your business on highlights. Get the full picture. Visit datathatwins.com to learn more.
Olympic Hot Tubs mid-year clearance event is on. Score big savings on saltwater hot tubs, saunas, and swim spas. Hurry, our mid-year clearance and these incredible deals end June 30th. OlympicHotTub.com. Better you, better life.
Deep to right field. Going, goodbye baseball.
At T-Mobile Park, you've always got the best seat in the house. But for a view that's a real home run, check out right field. Make that the dump yard. Sure, it's a great spot to see our fearless outfielders fly, dive, and slide.
Wow! Victor Robles makes the catch!
But you might get to flash some leather too, because the forecast in the dump yard always calls for rain. Raining big dumper home runs, that is.
Number 60, the magical tour of Cal Raleigh just continues.
Mariners baseball. Trident's up.
Don't miss this week's Cal Raleigh Funko Pop giveaway. You have 2 more chances to score this one-of-a-kind collectible as the Mariners take on the Angels tonight and Thursday at T-Mobile Park. The first 10,000 fans at each game will head home with this must-have Funko Pop. Lock in your seats today at mariners.com.
Let's go!
This is Seattle Sports.
Streaming through the Seattle Sports app.
KIRO AM Seattle. KIRO FM HD2 Tacoma. Home of the Seahawks, Mariners, and everything Seattle sports. Seattle Sports Snapshot.
The Mariners beat the Angels in that series opener yesterday, 6-2, including 2 home runs from Cole Young. Game 2 today, 6:40 p.m. first pitch, 5:30 p.m. pregame show. And then as a reminder, there's an off day Wednesday before the series picks up for its finale on Thursday. Breaking NBA news this morning, LeBron James has informed the Lakers he will not play for them in 2026. Golden State remains an option.
Snapshot, brought to you by Miller Lite. When it's game time, it's Miller time.
This is The Dugout, taking you inside your Seattle Mariners.
Swing and a miss, and he got him with a slider.
Presented by Top Fitness.
On the home of the Mariners, Seattle Sports.
Swinging a shot over the bag at first, fair ball. The Mariners win it. Here comes Leo Rivas to score. Cal Raleigh with a walk-off single.
Time to grab a seat and talk Mariners baseball in The Dugout.
Mariners insider Shannon Drayer joining us right now to kick off The Dugout. Shannon, how's it going?
It's going. How are you guys?
Really good, especially coming off a Mariners win, and very excited to see 2 home runs from Cole Young last night, including one that traveled roughly, I'm going to say 1,200 feet. I don't know for sure. I didn't get the exact measurement on that one, but that feels about right. I didn't know that Cole Young could also profile as a guy with that kind of power. You know way more about these guys when they were prospects than I do. Are you surprised by this? Is this what we expected?
Not because of when he was a prospect, but we actually saw it a little bit last year. You might remember he had an absolute laser of a home run to just left of the old Hit It Here Cafe in a game last year that originally the first StatCast number that came up was like 474 feet. And we all looked at each other and went, what? And they then kind of backed it up a little bit and landed in the 450s. But, I mean, it was a legitimate shot. So we saw it there. And I think he had a couple other that were pretty substantial. And in spring training this year, he had one that was over 470 legit in spring training that was recorded as the furthest home run in Cactus League play this spring. Now it's spring training. That's a different matter all along. But he's been a pretty well-rounded baseball player doing a little bit of everything throughout his career. And what has really impressed me is because I know that he's had that sneaky pop, the way that he has gone about things this year, and that his off-season plan was, well, I've got to hit the fastball. And those were both fastballs last night, one of them off of a lefty, which was fantastic, which he hasn't had too much trouble with, but, give him the credit there. But how he was able to, this is, I've got this power. I'm not going to go out there and just try and rake the entire time and have put up 25 home runs. His value is staying up the middle. His value is getting on base, moving the line. That's where he is right now. And when you're doing all the right things and having the right kinds of at-bats and in a good place mechanically and, seeing pitches well, not striking out a lot, the home runs come. And I think that's what you saw last night from him. So just to see him in how he attacked his off season in all aspects of his game after last year, and then to come in and have a mature approach that he sticks with. And even when he has a couple of weeks where he's struggling, he's not one of those players that you've ever looked at and thought he's lost his mind at the plate and, this is really wearing on him and the grind is getting to him. It's been the exact opposite. He has stayed remarkably consistent, and good things will often follow if you have that talent, and he has that talent. So I was thrilled to see it, but not totally surprised.
Shannon, yesterday, Stacey and I were talking about just consistency when it comes to this team, right? What are you going to do with that rotation? But this is the first time in a while, and granted I was on vacation for a week, that I looked at this lineup and I said, all right, I like this. This lineup has a chance. What did you think of the lineup, the order? Would you change anything? What do you feel?
I'm not one who really thinks too much about the order. What I do like and what they're doing is that we are seeing more Dom Canzone against lefties, and I think that's a great idea. I like that, they've been consistent with Cole Young. I think that's another great idea. I think that we've also seen them, and this is where it would be significant in the last week, and you were gone, move things around and bump some players down that were having some struggles. Cal Raleigh, maybe take a little bit of the pressure off, take him out of 2, and bump him down a little bit. So what I like about it is it's the first time that we've seen significant change in the lineup, and I think that's a good thing. I think that when you are struggling in baseball, you do want to give them a lot of runway to work through things, and a lineup change shouldn't be too extreme for any hitter, but sometimes just any change is something that helps. And so I think that's a good thing right there. But you do look up and down that lineup. You think there is talent there. And I think that should be encouraging. We have to see it come out consistently, and that's been the problem all year. But I like the idea that, okay, there is a little bit of a shakeup here. Did it lead to what we saw last night? I don't think so. As we saw it on the road trip, and there was struggle in that. But I understand where Dan Wilson is in, that he wants consistency and that guys like consistency. And so maybe you don't want to shake up the lineup, but at some point you need to. And I like that the move was made.
Talk to us a bit about not just George Kirby's night, but kind of his journey this season. He started out as maybe the best arm in the rotation. It was a wonderful start to the season for him. And then he hit a couple stumbling blocks, was struggling. And then obviously it wasn't just last night. He had a nice bounce back before this, but obviously going eight complete innings was absolutely phenomenal. What was working to start the season? What issues did he run into? And then what did you see last night?
With George, what has been curious, I didn't mean to say curious, George, this season is that he has had all of his pitches. When I look at a Savant page for him and when I look at the numbers, and he hasn't had one pitch particularly that has stood out. He hasn't had one pitch that has been, you can look at it and say, okay, that's a good put away pitch right there, like a really good one. That's the one you're going to go to in that situation, and that everybody's going to fear that pitch. But what he has had is what he has always had, and granted, it hasn't been as precise this year as it has in past years, and I think that's actually a good thing for George, and not getting too wrapped up in that. But he does have the command, and that he can spot the pitch when he needs to spot the pitch, so that's still there. So for me, I think it's maybe been adjusting a little bit to what he has. I think sometimes he fights himself a little bit and that he wants to throw too many strikes, and I think that he has learned at times, You can throw out of the strike zone a little bit. You can get swing and miss a little bit out of the strike zone. And so I think that there's a balance there that he is working with at all times. But what I like about what he does, and sometimes it can make it a little bit more difficult, is he is the one pitcher in that rotation. Because you look at George, you look at Bryce, you look at Logan, Brian Wu, a little bit more consistent in what he does. Luis Castillo, absolutely consistent in what he does. But those three have the ability to go out there and any night throw 7 different pitches or even more. And George is particularly gifted at crafting those pitches. And even though maybe he's not having that standout pitch this year, they're all very good. Usually, 1 or 2 of those are pretty shaky and you're not going to go to them very much. With George, he is the one pitcher in that rotation where they're like, go be an artist, go use all those pitches, because he can throw them all for strikes. He is that dialed in with all of them. And, the other 2 can have those days where, your fastball is absolutely on point. Let's just stay with that and a sinker and maybe something a little bit off speed, and you're good. You don't need to go out there and have them guessing on 7 different pitches. So with George, I think sometimes it's a little bit of a management thing, and mostly just make sure you're staying out of the kind of hot zones in the strike zone. If you're going to throw in the strike zone, they've all got to be very good strikes, and sometimes that's a tough way to live. And then the last thing I would say is that he is so invested in the mental game that I think it took a little while I think he really wanted to trust the process and trust. We talk about the underneath the hood numbers and all that all the time when he wasn't getting the results. And I think maybe it did take him getting a little bit frustrated and a little bit angry to maybe perhaps find, okay, maybe I can do it this way. Maybe I can dial in this a little bit more. And maybe just that little bit extra getting there is something that helped him.
We're at the point of the season with Kyle where I'll just take whatever I can get from Kyle. I just want him to get back into the groove. Kept his hands inside and kind of blooped one out to left field. I believe the left fielder was just deep, right? And dropped one in, you scored 2. What are you seeing from Kyle, and what does even something like that do for him?
I think for him, he's really getting to a point where he just needs to feel good about where the swing is. And I know the results are similar to what we saw before he went on the IL, but I think the swing has looked better, and I think he probably feels a little bit better about the swings right now. And I think that's what's most important. You look at the walks that he's taking, and that's great because we weren't seeing that in the first half. We were seeing him get frustrated, and particularly when he was trying to play with the injury and striking out quite a bit and swinging at pitches that were just out of character for him to swing at. We're not seeing that right now. So I think that seeing him put up the better at bat, seeing pitches a little bit better. Oh, he's had an at bat or 2 where he has gotten a little jumpy and swung at the wrong pitches, but nothing like what we saw earlier this year. You have the hope that he is on the right path, but I think the most important thing is that he feel good about both swings, and I think that the time that he was out gave him something that he probably didn't have going into the season after the WBC and the rush to ramp up both what he was doing at the plate and make sure he got in the right work with the pitchers. I think he's in a better place. I think especially with the fact that he is seeing the ball better, that he is taking those walks, and I think that is probably a good indicator that it's going to follow for him. And then the next thing I would look at is we did see that, some of the more power numbers, the velo off the bat, the barrels and whatnot were down for him. You want to see those start to come up for him as well. But I think he's at a good starting point, which I'm not convinced he had before.
Last one, and I didn't save you enough time, so feel free to focus on just Logan for this one. But I'm asking because of your comments on Kirby, of kind of challenging him to go outside the zone a bit. And it seems like Logan kind of had an opposite challenge from the pitching staff and Woodworth. Was there, I don't want to say like a come to God moment. They both had perfectly fine seasons, but was there a change in kind of how Woodworth wanted to challenge these guys, considering, that both had kind of have talked multiple times about being tasked with kind of opposite things this year?
Not that I know of, but I think that with Logan in particular, I think, part of it might have been just getting more into his season. I think that what we have seen the last 6-7 times out, a lot of that coincides with his good fastball appears to be back. He has the velocity. That makes him feel good. And what I see, and when I talk to them, they don't always agree with it, but what I see is that when he has that fastball and he's attacking with that fastball, it's almost a different mindset. And, there are games where he can go out and dominate with that pitch and throw that 50, 60, 70% of the time. And there are other games when he's going to go out there and throw all of his pitches. And I think there's a different mindset. I think that when you are really on the attack with that fastball, you're maybe perhaps a little bit more on attack with your other pitches as well. I think that Cal Raleigh coming back helped him a little bit. There was one thing that he said is that Cal, immediately the first outing he had with Cal behind the plate, Cal helped keep him on line. And there was something that Cal saw in the game and approached him in the dugout in between innings and said, hey, when you go out there and take your warm-up pitches, really, really focus on this. You need to be a little bit more on line, a little bit more direct to the plate. And it was something that was very small but made a difference in that outing. And I think that has helped going forward. And I also think that it is mixed a little bit, particularly when he gets to 2 strikes. Going after them with a fastball, if it's the right lineup, has helped. When he's been going after them with the splitter, if the splitter is on and if he's getting the swing and miss on that, great. But if not, that is a pitch that can get fouled off quite a bit. The slider sometimes would get fouled off quite a bit. So he would get into those long, drawn-out at-bats. And I think he has made an adjustment with what he does when he gets to 2 strikes. And I think that has helped greatly, too, and helped him get deeper in games.
She is Mariners insider Shannon Drayer. Thanks, Shannon.
Thanks, Shannon.
You got it, guys.
More Mariners updates coming your way next.
Longer days, warmer weather, and a stronger you all start at Top Fitness. Hey, Brock Hewitt here, and right now, check out the Top Fitness Big Sale in all 3 of their stores. Every category is on sale. Home gyms, weight plates, dumbbells, treadmills, and stair climbers like I've got. Great deals on display models, too. Have a home gym that needs some help? Get your rubber flooring and all the accessories you need. Get into Top Fitness with locations in Tukwila, Linwood, and Bellevue, or visit topfitness.com for more info. That's Top Fitness, your best place for home fitness equipment.
Les Schwab Tires has always believed that taking care of people is the right thing to do. Today, that means more than trusted service. It means delivering real value, too. That's why we're lowering prices on hundreds of tires without changing the service and expertise you've always counted on. Consumer Reports named Les Schwab the best tire retailer for 2026. We'll keep working every day to earn your trust. See leschwab.com for details.
Michael is in his 70s, and he was dealing with an injury.
I had tears in my rotator cuff. Just the discomfort of going about everyday life. Day-to-day things were not comfortable or almost impossible, but just being inactive was troubling.
He was in a great deal of pain.
I started trying to learn how to brush my teeth with my left hand, and you can't do it. It was ridiculous.
Searching for answers, Michael found Dr. Mark Wagner, MD, at Seattle Sports and Regenerative Medicine, where he underwent stem cell therapy.
I played basketball Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, and so I'm getting my shot back. It's not back to where it was, but hey, before I couldn't even do anything. So 100% improvement of what it was.
Wow, that's great to hear. Would you recommend stem cell therapy to others?
I can share without a doubt that it helped me, and I'm grateful for that.
Whether it's a shoulder, hip, or knee, before you choose surgery, consider stem cell therapy with Dr. Mark Wagner, MD, at Seattle Sports and Regenerative Medicine. Schedule your consultation at drmarkwagnermd.com.
From the FIFA World Cup to competitive business environments, grand ambitions lead to game-changing achievements. At Bank of America, we're there to support businesses at every step, providing insights and expertise to help you gain an edge.
He shoots, he scores!
What would you like the power to do? Explore winning business solutions at BofA.com/gamechangers. Bank of America, official bank of the FIFA World Cup 2026. From the FIFA World Cup to competitive business environments, grand ambitions lead to game-changing achievements. At Bank of America, we're there to support businesses at every step, providing insights and expertise to help you gain an edge.
He shoots, he scores!
What would you like the power to do? Explore winning business solutions at BofA.com/gamechangers. Bank of America, official bank of the FIFA World Cup 2026.
Back to the dugout on the home of the Mariners, Seattle Sports.
I had to wait for the beat to drop. It felt right. What and who the Mariners need to add at the deadline. This is less about us like making a pitch for signing, trading, a specific person, and more about taking a listen to what Jeff Passan said about where the team can and should improve. Still very much in it in the American League. Why am I saying this like I need to convince anyone of anything? You fell into second place for the first time since May, which is a bummer. You are the most talented team in your division. So let's get to it. Jeff Passan talking about what prices and the market could look like at the deadline.
I just think there are too many teams right now that still don't really know what they are in the grand scheme of things and aren't going to be willing until the pressure of the deadline comes, until the exigency is there. They're not going to know what they want to do. I don't think that's indecisiveness or anything. Let's use the Mariners, for example. The Mariners right now, the question they need to ask themselves is, are we good enough to push? Are we good enough to be paying retail in this market where there are going to be so many teams that are in it that the prices, I would assume, are going to be pretty high?
Love that framing. Prices are going to be higher at this trade deadline because more teams are in it. That's by virtue of expanded playoffs and also by virtue of an American League that's down bad this year. So if you're going to be paying more for a trade deadline acquisition, are you proving that your team is worth it?
You're proving that your team's good enough because of how bad everything else is. It's just a product of your environment. Right? What's the climate? And then that's an interesting way to be in this position is that every team thinks they're in it because every team is mediocre. Yeah. And it's weird. Usually, you just have like 2-3 elite teams and you're saying, okay, we're going to make a run for it. Everybody else is going to be sellers at this time. It's like, no, we're all bad. We're all in this together. 500 club, like we're just below 500. We're in this together. So it's weird, but it shows that you see what's going on around you and you're willing to stick your neck out there a little bit because you know that if you get like a 5 or 6, 7 game lead late, that's probably going to be good enough.
Yeah, we're at the point of the season and how weird the American League is, where the Red Sox, who I had completely written off as being a contender in any way, have started to improve. We're a topic on foul territory, talking about them coming back, and also coming off just sweeping the Yankees. So do I think the Red Sox are better than the Mariners? No, I do not. But I think that that's a perfect example of a team that you would in previous years have targeted for pieces that now you may not be able to because they still think that they've got a shot here. I think that, look, I'm really hesitant in ever taking my foot off the gas in terms of wanting this team to compete. And I felt the same way last trade deadline. They were swept by the Yankees. It was ugly. It was horrible. And I was still like, for a team that hasn't made it to the World Series, you simply can never punt on a season. Mm-hmm. You don't have the luxury of doing that. You don't. And you've set everything up to make it this year. So keep fighting that. Now, part of that needs to be players actually playing better. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's not one or two things. It's everything needs to come together here to make a case for Jerry and Justin and to ownership to make those moves. Got a couple weeks here to get it done. Now, there is good news. We complain a lot about offense, but pitching is looking pretty stellar. Here's Jeff.
This Mariners team, we're more than halfway through the season right now, and this has been a 500 team, like as simple as that, as average as you can possibly get. And is that a team where giving up a prospect to go chase something this year is worth it? I think you can make the argument for the Mariners that it is, and the argument is that we can pitch with anyone. And if we can pitch with anyone, we're going to be in games. And if we're in games in a league as wide open as the American League right now, where the best team is clearly the New York Yankees, and they just got swept for 4 games by one of the worst teams in the Boston Red Sox this week. If that can happen, then surely we should absolutely push on this season.
I'm still team do what you need to do. I think the Mariners are a team that has tighter windows than some other teams. And I think that we might be looking at a lockout in 2027. In 2028, you're looking at, a 31-year-old Cal Raleigh? 32? I don't know. You're looking at an older pitching staff. You know what I mean? Like, Julio's still going to be young, but, you don't have Randy. You don't have a couple pieces that are here right now. Like it or not, it's a 500 team. It might still be your best shot to get to a World Series right now.
Yeah, it's you looking at what's going on and seizing the opportunity, because you don't know what next year's going to look like. You talk about a lockout too, right? You don't know what next year is going to look like. I'd rather be the top dog in a down division or a down league. I much rather be that than be a one or two top dog in a competitive league, right? And obviously I take both, but
Sure.
I think that your chances of capitalizing are when you're the top dog in a down league.
I'll take a Mickey Mouse award anytime.
Just because of who you are. Not to say you can't get it done when 4 or 5 teams are elite and you're doing your thing, but you've never done it before. So if you're looking around and everyone's treading water, barely staying afloat, but you're looking at your roster and you think and you feel that this is a better roster than anyone out there anyway, why not go for it and make it better?
Now, what does it mean and what do you have to give up to make it that much better? Here's Jeff Passan.
I mean, that certainly helps, right? When you're trying to decide who to move at the deadline, there are some teams that have thin farm systems that, tend to hoard their prospects because whether it's the financial value and the surplus value that they can bring, or they're concerned that, hey, maybe we actually maybe we can't do this again. That's, it's a normal conversation for teams to have. I think the question with the Mariners is more of one like, is it worth it for the inventory that's out there and for the prices that are going to be asked?
I feel like reading between the lines, that's Jeff saying the Mariners don't need to give up top prospects for pieces. Hey, don't package your best prospects for Tarek Skubal. I feel like is kind of what he's hinting at, because I don't think you're going to win a World Series. That's me putting words in his mouth, but it sounds like a little bit of what he's saying. And I get it. And I think I agree with it. But I also am so sick of the idea of hanging on to prospects and going with draft and develop and trade without doing the trade part.
Yeah, the tough part about prospects is that we look at the text lines and a lot of people are for trading them. Trade them. Let's get better. And a lot of people are like, no, let's wait and see. And both sides feel like the results are guaranteed. You're guaranteed to get something for this prospect, or this prospect is guaranteed to be great. So that's what makes the situation tough for the guys making the decisions is, all right, which ones are worth holding on to, which ones aren't. And teams aren't just going to grab a bottom feeder prospect. They're going to want your big dogs up there if you really want to make this move. So there are like a lot of pieces to this equation that have to make sense for the decision makers. Are we in a position to really make a run at this thing? Where do we need help? And will a top prospect get it done, or will, a mediocre prospect get it done? And is this a move for the future or just for this year? So you're looking at a whole bunch of things trying to figure out what's the right move for the organization. Me personally, I say there are 2 to 3 prospects that I wouldn't touch.
Yeah.
And the rest I'm like, okay, let's see what happens.
Okay, so maybe not for like the absolute best thing at the deadline. But what about some other guys? Here are specific names.
I still don't know if the Orioles are going to be trading anyone. If they do move a guy, Taylor Ward, right-handed bat, gets on base a lot, has some power, seems to be a pretty good candidate. A guy like Seiya Suzuki. I don't know that the Cubs are going to move him, but if they need pitching, boy, the Mariners are a pretty pitching-rich organization.
Now, that could also be an option for Luis Castillo. It's going to be way more complicated than just, we'll give you Castillo, you give us Seiya Suzuki. But the Cubs have been talked about by multiple people as a potential partner if you are able to find a way to move on from one of your starters, namely Castillo.
Yeah.
So
I wish it was that simple.
bat.
I wish
know.
it was that simple.
Yeah, if we were just fantasy baseball GMs going like, and I'll throw in a couple beers. Sure. Anyways, some names to kind of keep an eye on. Certainly teams, Baltimore Cubs, to keep an eye on as we get closer to the deadline here in a couple weeks. Coming up next, Mariners analyst Angie Mentink.
Big time hitting.
Right field, no doubt, fly away, Cole Young. Cole Young has gone deep twice.
Big Big-time pitching.
What a night for George Kirby, and he gets a standing O from the fans.
And tonight, the Mariners look to make it 2 straight wins to start the homestand with Brian Wu on the mound. Mariners Angels, first pitch at 4:50, 5:30 pregame. Hear every pitch on the free Seattle Sports app.
From whiplash to herniated discs, there are a few car accident injuries we've all heard of. J.P. Pendergast with Pendergast Law explains that even the most common injuries differ from one another.
Pre-existing conditions, health history, beginning of treatment. There are hundreds of factors that make every person and every injury unique. While these variables aid medical treatment, the strongest case recoveries must also take them into account.
Could you explain a little bit more?
Our team at Pendergast Law is obsessed with turning over every stone to differentiate each case. This requires thorough investigation, diligent listening, and relentless research. We never pursue cases with a one-size-fits-all approach. We built our success by treating every injury and every case with the individualized attention our clients need and deserve.
Pendergast Law's individualized approach to even the most common injuries makes the difference in case outcomes. It's another reason why I can't recommend them enough.
If you or a loved one has been injured in a car accident, call Pendergast Law. We can help.
June is Men's Health Month. Swedish Cyberknife is encouraging men to break the stigma and talk about their own health with family members and medical professionals. Dave Wyman here. Find out about your family medical history, as conditions like prostate cancer can increase your risk. When detected early, prostate cancer has several viable treatment options. One of the most effective treatment methods for prostate cancer is offered at Swedish Medical Center right here in Seattle. Swedish Cyberknife requires only 5 short treatment sessions, each lasting less than an hour. It's non-surgical, non-invasive, and patients can typically maintain their usual day-to-day lives. This June, during Men's Health Month, make sure to place an emphasis on discussing your health with family and medical professionals. Ask about family history of medical conditions or disease. To learn more about Cyberknife for prostate cancer treatment, go to swedish.org/cyberknifeprostate. Treat prostate cancer with Swedish Cyberknife.
Cyberknife is a registered trademark of Accuray Incorporated and is used with permission.
For over 50 years, Bucky's Complete Auto Repair has been the one locals trust for honest pricing, expert service, and guaranteed repairs. This dedication has earned them a Carfax Preferred designation. At Bucky's, every customer gets detailed Carfax updates, timely service reminders, and a full service history, all at your fingertips. With 16 family-owned locations, no appointment needed, and easy financing, Bucky's makes auto care simple. Visit Bucky's.com today and drive with confidence. Bucky's.com.
Bigger summer crowds deserve bigger savings. Get more out of summer at Chef Store with warehouse savings on grilling must-haves for restaurants, food trucks, and events. Plus, we're open to the public. No membership required. Visit Chef Store today.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
The sounds of summer. They're great until they're not. Luckily, AutoZone has free battery testing and charging
Let me check that for you.
to help make a rough moment smooth. Don't miss the Celebrate Free event at AutoZone. Free products with select deals until July 27th. And free services every day. Restrictions apply.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm, and Chuck McDowell definitely not an attorney. This is Chuck. If someone talked you into buying something really silly and you want to get out of that silly little thing, my advice, get the facts. Call me and I'll send you our timeshare exit kit absolutely free. Inside, you'll learn how timeshare works and all your options for cancellation.
Call Wesley now for your free exit info kit. 800-572-3344. That's 800-572-3344.
Every summer, homeowners wait too long to find a house painter. All Covered Painting is accepting a limited number of exterior projects this season. Ask about a designer-led complimentary color consultation. Get your free estimate at allcoveredpainting.com.
Back to the dugout on the home of the Mariners, Seattle Sports.
Angie Mentink joining us now. Angie, how's it going?
It's good. It's good. Everybody feels better after a game like last night, right?
Oh, my God, exactly. Especially after Cole Young launching a baseball to the moon. That was absolutely insane. I love just like a no-doubter right off the bat. I wanted to actually talk about home runs or maybe like they're from another player, though. And I hate to start off on what sounds like a negative note, but I promise there's an optimistic spin here.
Okay, good. I'll wait. I'll wait.
Great. Fantastic. So I have almost no doubt that, like, Cal Raleigh and Julio will be fine. I think that the Mariners' absolute best chances to make a deep October push are on them improving sooner rather than later. And so Bump and I both thought, well, okay, what are we tracking here? Wins are great. You need to start stacking up wins. Pull away in a division where you're so clearly more talented than everyone else. And I still think a very talented roster. But I made the case that, to me, the types of wins matter. And seeing that slugging percentage from Cal and Julio go up here feels pretty important. Is that something you're tracking closely, too?
Okay, yes. You need those big bats in your lineup to do big things. There's no doubt about that. The thing that I am really liking what I'm seeing, and let's start with Cal, is you go back last few games and he's been walking a lot more. And I was like, thank you. Please understand, everybody knows who you are. And even though you've gotten off to a slow start, like you look at the number of fastballs that they're throwing him, it's way down. They're not stupid. They know that you can crush a fastball. And then, they're spinning everything on him. Okay, cool, except that you're chasing out of the strike zone. He has got to understand, what teams are doing to him. So all of a sudden now, over these last, handful of starts, he's walking more. He's not chasing. And I was like, good. Okay, now the strike zone is zoning up. Now he's really getting his edges. And then what I saw last night, which I just love, and I started this in the final game, in Cleveland, just pointing out how they're finally, not trying to be so greedy and catch that ball out in front. Yes, somebody like Julio, we always talk about it. Oh, Julio's got to catch the ball out in front. He's got to lift the ball in the air. Yes, he does. But he goes through a process, and that's a lot of times why he gets off to that slow start. It's because he's letting that ball get deeper. He hits a ton of ground balls, and then all of a sudden, he starts catching it a little bit more in the middle, then a little bit more out in front. It is a process, and different process for Cal, but I think we're seeing it. Good strike zone, and now we saw him. Where did he go with that hit yesterday? Left center field. So letting the ball get deeper, seeing the ball longer, and making better swing decisions.
Hey, Ange, what do you think about the back and forth with Josh Naylor and his former teammate, and just how Josh plays the game? I really like it. Lean into that pitch, take it on the shoulder, mess with the pitcher at second base. It seems like he's really starting to get under people's skin.
Yeah, there was a new one that homeboy came out with, I don't know if it was today or last night, where it kind of like really went backwards and did the whole back and forth. And like, I was like, I did not realize that Josh Naylor's trash talk is like A++. Like, he was like, you're a backup to a backup. And he was like, you need instructions to get to first base. I was like, this is like from Naylor's basketball days. This is a total 80 grade trash talk game from Josh Naylor. We've said this since he arrived in Seattle. He plays with an intensity. Am I allowed to say a red tush on the radio? I don't know. Sure. He plays with the red ass, and when he's on your team, you love him. And when you are on the other side and you look at the things he does to win, whether it's take a ball, off the elbow, breaking ball. Okay. That's not going to probably put me on the sidelines for a few days. I'll do that. I'll get on. I'll get going. Whether he's running inside the lane from first to second to screw up the lanes, like all the little things he does, you love it when he's on your team and you hate it when he's on the opposing team. So I wasn't surprised to see the back and forth, with a former teammate that knows him well, but I was really impressed with his trash talking game. Well done, Josh Naylor.
Absolutely amazing. And also, Austin, no one believes you. Everyone loves Josh, so you're crazy for that one.
Exactly. Everybody likes Josh. So you're just sit down.
Absolutely
Stop it.
Insane. You guys, speaking of Cal, from Cal and kind of what you're seeing to Cal and what you're hearing, broadcasts talk quite a bit about Cal Raleigh's comments during the game. What does something like that do for a team? I mean, to other guys, does it sound just like, it's just what you got to say post-game? Or is there maybe messaging that that could fire someone up? I don't know how else to ask that more tactfully.
Yeah,
but does it do
it's
something,
kind of
I guess?
like, it's sort of like a sibling thing where, when members of the media or people on the outside, social media say, like, we're not playing well, it's like, you can't say something about my brother. I'm going to fight you. but like I can say something to my brother. and that's kind of like what we've got there with Cal talking about the team. Like everybody's going to defend to, outside sources. Somebody says the team isn't playing well, but when Cal says it, and he says it about, his brothers, I think it's okay. And B, I think it does. It carries weight, and it's a reminder that, hey, listen, I know there's noise out there. I know everybody's saying this about you, but, hey, listen, to some degree, I agree with them, and we need to do better. And I think a lot of people's frustration is just that sense of lack of urgency. I think that this Mariners team is trying, no doubt about it, but they do, per Cal, and they've got to step it up. They've got to get a little bit more of a fight and intensity, because that's the only way you can play this game. I mean, it's not like a football or a hockey where you can sort of, let yourself spin out of control a little bit more physically, and sometimes that's beneficial. You really have to stay within yourself, but you got to light that fire inside.
The youngsters have been playing some decent ball. What was the game before? We missed an opportunity, but Cole Young stepping up and getting on base, and Emerson doing his thing. It's kind of cool to see those guys have their moments. I think Emerson did not have a hit last game. Either way, what do you make of the middle infield and how those guys are evolving? We see the power by Cole Young, but what do you see out of Emerson too?
Yeah, I really dig Colt Emerson, and everybody was trying to say like, hey, like, stop saying he should be up here. Stop saying she should be up here. I was like, I will not. I wanted him up here. I thought his game would translate. I think it has, and I think that he is just going to get better. When you look at I don't think we expected to see as many home runs as we've already gotten from Colt. That wasn't kind of, his thing. But he's been so impressive. And then defensively, and this is no hate on JP. I love JP, but like now, I mean, it goes to shortstop, and when you're there early and they're taking ground balls, the pace at which he throws, I mean, he has a cannon over there at shortstop, and he's just, it seems like there's so much security when the ball goes there. And I'm not trying to say it wasn't with JP, but JP is at a different point in his career, and we've talked about maybe his lack of range. I think it's been amazing what he's been able to do over at third base. He can still gather, and he's got some juice on his arm too. But watching Colt play shortstop has been a lot of fun.
I know that we all want to see more from the offense and know that they can do more if, they're going to make it to a World Series. And it's really a shame, though, because the pitching, I feel, is better than it was last year. So many guys have taken really fascinating steps forward. And so I wanted to take the last 2 minutes here, Angie, to ask you a bit about what you've seen. And I'll leave it open. I mean, there could be one guy in particular or two that you just think like has challenged himself in a way to put Seattle right now. I think they're top 5 in total team ERA.
Yeah, they're fantastic. And the thing that jumps out at me is their swing and miss. I haven't looked at the stats today, but they're leading, majors in strikeouts. And a big part of that, believe it or not, is Emerson Hancock. And, that's something I did not see or imagine was going to happen. I thought he was going to be that sort of reliable 6-starter guy that you could bring up and would make a nice patch. But he's been fantastic. He's the one that's driving, obviously, this whole piggybacking thing, because he's been so good. Brian Woo's at home. I like that. I don't know what's going on the road. I don't know. He needs to, pretend he's at T-Mobile Park and redo his locker on the road or something like that. I hate how hard he is on himself. He's I think in some ways, yes, it's beneficial to hold yourself to a high standard, but, also you can't beat yourself up. This game is hard enough. It'll do it. You don't need to pile on yourself. So I hope that he goes out and has a great start tonight. He's had success against the Angels too. But yeah, just all the way across the board with the starters, they've just been so incredibly impressive, and even Luis Castillo, it seems to have, rebounded here lately. The bullpen is a bit of a soft spot, and I say that, and statistically, they're near the top in a lot of different things. But I think if you look at we're all waiting for the offense. We've talked about that, but I think that you look around and you're like, oh, I don't need a first baseman. I don't need a second baseman. I don't need a shortstop. We're good in the outfield. Maybe a right-hand bat. And then that bullpen. I think that they need another high leverage arm because that's what, shoring up all these really close one-run games comes down to. And, this is something that the Mariners were so good at. It was their superpower. It was winning 2-run games and 1-run games, and they just haven't been as good in that category.
She is Mariners analyst Angie Mentink, kind enough to join us for the Dugout. Thanks, Angie.
Thanks, Angie.
You got it, guys.
Alex Mayer coming up next.
Big time hitting.
Right field, no doubt. Fly away, Cole Young. Cole Young has gone deep twice.
Big time pitching.
What a night for George Kirby, and he gets a standing O from the fans.
And tonight, the Mariners look to make it 2 straight wins to start the homestand with Brian Wu on the mound. Mariners Angels, first pitch at 4:50, 5:30 pregame. Hear every pitch on the free Seattle Sports app.
Longer days, warmer weather, and a stronger you all start at Top Fitness. Hey, Brock Hewitt here, and right now, check out the Top Fitness big sale in all 3 of their stores. Every category is on sale. Home gyms, weight plates, dumbbells, treadmills, and stair climbers like I've got. Great deals on display models, too. Have a home gym that needs some help? Get your rubber flooring and all the accessories you need. Get into Top Fitness with locations in Tukwila, Linwood, and Bellevue, or visit topfitness.com for more info. That's Top Fitness, your best place for home fitness equipment.
Hey, it's John Curley with my friend Bob Stelton. Hey, Bob, you had a hip issue just like me. You went to see Dr. Mark Wagner at Seattle Sports Regenerative Medicine. What did he tell you?
You got a torn labrum, you got a frayed ligament, you've got arthritis developing. He said, this isn't going to fix everything, but it will go a long way. I was walking around at about an 8 pain level. I couldn't walk that far before the pain would kick in, and it was impacting my workouts and just really impacting my day-to-day stuff beyond jiu-jitsu.
So, just like me, Dr. Wagner does stem cell on your hip. How you feeling now?
I feel like I've gotten back to being who I was prior to the injuries, which was somebody who's very active, loves being out there outside when the weather's great, being on the motorcycle, sparring in jiu-jitsu, working out. I can do all of those things now.
So whether it's a shoulder, a hip, a wrist, knee, or elbow, before you choose surgery, see our friend, Dr. Wagner first. He'll tell you if stem cell is right for you. drmarkwagnermd.com. Make an appointment at drmarkwagnermd.com.
If you've been in a wreck or a fender bender,
You have the right to take your vehicle to any repair facility, not just where your insurance company tells you to go. Accurate Auto Body has been family owned and operated since 1994, and they work for you, not your insurance company. With over 25 years of auto repair work, they'll exceed your expectations.
we meet by accident, fixing every last bit. Accurate Auto Body.
At Accurate Auto Body, all their work is performed by certified technicians, only using OEM parts to guarantee the safety of you and your family. For the best in auto body collision repair and customer service, give them a call at 425-883-2450 or AccurateAutoBodyWA.com. Your insurance company may not love them, but you will, because
we meet by accident, fixing every last bit. Accurate Auto Body.
Olympic Hot Tub's mid-year clearance event is on. Score big savings on saltwater hot tubs, saunas, and swim spas. Hurry, our mid-year clearance and these incredible deals end June 30th. OlympicHotTub.com. Better you, better life.
don't miss the Mariners' 50-season celebration night, August 8th, presented by Daktronics. Witness the most iconic gathering of Mariners greats in franchise history as the top 50 players are unveiled at T-Mobile Park. Get your tickets at mariners.com.
This summer, the Honey Pepper Pimento Chicken Sandwich and Pineapple Dragon Fruit and Sprite are back at Chick-fil-A.
Let me tell you about the Pineapple Dragon Fruit and Sprite. It's bright, it's bubbly, it's back.
The Honey Pepper Pimento Chicken Sandwich, it's so rich, and you can choose between the original or the spicy filet.
Ooh, boy.
And then you got those pickled jalapenos tucked right under the filet, and then just to top it all off, you've got a little honey drizzle right on top.
Okay, now I'm a pimento fan.
And I'm feeling the dragon fruit.
Which fan favorite will you choose? Real customers paid for their testimonials.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Summer's finally here, and we're kicking it off with a whole lot of free. Free brake pads with Duralast rotors. Free oil filter with 5 quarts of oil. free Armor All wipes with Armor All glass cleaner, and more. More free, so you can have more summer. Celebrate free at AutoZone. Now through July 27th. Restrictions apply.
Get in the zone, AutoZone. Back to the dugout on the home of the Mariners, Seattle Sports.
From Mariners Stats and Info, it's Alex Mayer. Alex, how's it going?
It's going great, Stacy. How are you guys?
Good. We do want to talk about some upcoming milestones, good stuff, obviously, about a few players, but let's talk potential future players here because MLB's draft is sneaking up 2 days, July 11th, the 1st. The Mariners have picked 24 overall and 4 picks on day one. And I wanted to start by just talking about what we've learned about their approach to the draft, Jerry's approach to the draft, that is, and how that's evolved and changed over time. Because it's been clear that, draft, develop, and trade has kind of been the approach, but there have been a lot of really great draft success stories.
Totally.
And that started to spread, too, to hitters. For a minute there, it was like, oh, the pitching's really working out, and they're acquiring hitters elsewhere. But those draft picks have really paid off as well. So I guess what have we learned about their approach there?
Yeah, 100%. I think our front office epitomizes kind of like take the best player on the board mentality. They don't care about position. They don't care about high school versus college. They've shown time and time again that they'll take the best player available. And you guys get it. You cover the NFL draft at length. Obviously, that doesn't sneak up on you as much as the baseball draft because we have a mid-season draft, which is just so funky. But it's the way the calendar lays out. But, yeah, I mean, you look at the active roster right now and 3/5, I guess half the rotation, if you want to call it, former first-round picks. 2018, Logan Gilbert. 2019, George Kirby. 2020, Emerson Hancock. That's 3 college arms right there. And then they've pivoted in recent years. 2022, they took Cole Young out of high school, North Allegheny Heights High School out of Pittsburgh, or outside of Pittsburgh, excuse me. And then Colt Emerson was their first of 3 first-round picks in 2023. Another high school bat making an impact at the major league level at such a young age. So they've shown time and time again that they're willing to deviate for the right person. And Kate Anderson going number 3 overall last year was really a blessing for us.
Man, I knew it was a mid-season draft. I never really thought about that. Only major sport in America that's a mid-season draft. That's got to spread the staff pretty thin.
Yeah, it really does, Bump. I mean, I think the NFL draft might have like the best marketing of any sporting event in the world. I mean, the fact that they're kind of touring the United States the last several years tells you all you need to know. They keep breaking attendance records, but the MLB draft's kind of just like, plop, we'll do it at the All-Star break in the city that has the All-Star game. And it sneaks up on you. And I think less appeal there because the guys don't make it to the big leagues right away. But it's needless to say the Mariners have definitely taken advantage of the draft.
Speaking of sneaking up on you, it's already the halfway point of the season, nearly the All-Star game. Those rosters are announced on July 4th, which is going to be this weekend, but we won't talk to you until afterwards. So, Alex, It's your final chance to guess before we actually know who's going to make the All-Star game from the Mariners. Who do you think goes?
Yeah, I'm gonna go 3. I'm feeling ambitious, optimistic, I should say. I'll say Julio and Randy make it. Hopefully, both representing the American League outfield. There's some good outfielders out there. I think Byron Buxton, Minnesota's had a great season. Mike Trout's actually turned back the clock, hit a bunch of homers. Aaron Judge won't play in the game, so he'll get voted in, but he can't play because he'll still be injured. So I like us to land 2 outfielders again like last year. And then give me Logan Gilbert. I think he's had a really, really good run last 5 or 6 starts or so. He has 107 strikeouts, which leads the staff, ranks favorably in the AL. Only 22 walks, and then the ERA is down to 3.42. So give me Logan.
All right, I like those additions to the All-Star game. You got some milestones coming up when it comes to stats. Tell me about them.
Yeah, speaking of Logan, perfect segue. He's nearing 1,000 strikeouts in his career, which is really impressive. You talk homegrown players. He has 991 strikeouts in not even 6 full seasons with the Mariners. Career high 220 a couple years ago when he did land in his All-Star game back in Texas. So just wanted to shout out Logan there. 9 strikeouts away. It'd be cool to see him get it in his next start, obviously. And then another 1,000 coming up. J.P. Crawford goes into tonight playing 998 career games. Wow. Handful of those with the Phillies, but most of them obviously with the Mariners. Longest tenured player, been around since 2019. So hopefully we got something cool prepared for him in the clubhouse when he hits 1,000 on Thursday. But really special milestone for such a team leader in JP.
I have a really tough question. Are there a couple guys on the team right now, or is there a guy on the team right now that feels likely to at one point be a franchise leader in a certain category, like a pretty key one?
Ooh, I feel like anybody you would have on the show would say the same answer, and it's probably Colt Emerson. He's just really mature already. Not to say some of the other young guys aren't per se, but he's just like standout mature. And I think it's going to, do him wonders on the field in terms of the ebbs and flows of being a major leaguer. You're going to have slumps, you're going to have hot streaks, but I think he would be someone I'd be comfortable speaking to the team, let's just say, because I think he's very confident in who he is without, crossing kind of the cocky border. So I'll say Colt Emerson.
460 feet is what they measure Cole Young's home run. Is there a correction? Can we verify this? Because I think everyone who watched that game thinks it went deeper than that.
I think so too. I mean, he crushed it, but I'm watching these games and like our perception is so different, like the center field home runs versus the left or right field home runs. So I feel like they never go as far as you think they go. But I mean, if it was higher than that, I'd buy it.
That's like my driver. Never goes as far as I think it goes.
Yeah, totally.
I feel it.
No, absolutely.
There you go.
I know it's really, really boring since it's a basic stat, but we've been talking a lot about slugging and how important it is. And sometimes it's boring because it matters. And it's like, yeah, you really want to see more of that from Raleigh. So we've already covered that. I'm stealing this answer away from you. You can't choose it.
Please.
Is there something else that in a relatively small sample size, let's say the next 2 weeks, right, leading up to the All-Star break, none of us will see enough. The Mariners could go on a tear, and we still won't see enough to say definitively that, this is fixed or this is great. We're all going to feel way better, which is great. But what's a stat or maybe something we can track that you think can be an indicator of a team that is very seriously turning a corner?
Yeah, I think I'll echo team leader Cal Raleigh in his media session the other day after our finale, the unfortunate loss in Cleveland. I think finishing games, I think holding on to those leads that you take into the 6th, 7th, 8th inning. I think I don't have the numbers in front of me right now, but I want to say the Mariners have about 6 losses when leading after 6 innings, which doesn't seem like a lot, but probably ranks near the top of the league. So just finishing games, I thought Cal was extremely impressive in his media session, kind of speaking on behalf of the team there. So I guess maybe not a stat you'd expect, but hanging on the leads, I guess the record when leading after 6 innings is the stat I want to see improve the most.
I love asking these questions because we got a great answer from Angie. And because it's always stuff. Look, you guys are in this each and every day, and so they're just more well-rounded answers. Like we chatted with Ryan Rowland-Smith, who, and this is before Cal's statement, but he said, I want to see what they do against opposing bullpens, like specifically adding runs late. Like what do you do in the 7th, 8th, and 9th? And I was like, that's a much more unique thing to track. And so really good answers from you guys. It feels like a well-rounded approach to how we're looking at this team over the next couple weeks here. He is Alex Mayer. Thanks, Alex.
Thanks, Alex.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you to Alex and Angie and Shannon for joining us. This has been The Dugout. Wyman and Bob coming up next.
MLB Network insider John Morosi with Wyman and Bob.
How do we assess this Mariner team? What do we do?
The main guys that you need to carry the water here, Cal, bad first half, okay? Julio has struggled of late. Donovan has been a non-factor. Naylor hasn't had a good year. I mean, that's the explanation. If this team's going to get back to where they were last year. And they can still do it. The fixes are there.
Subscribe to Seattle Sports on YouTube and watch the full interview.
Guys, I'll never forget the first time I saw somebody get results at our clinic. He was an 81-year-old man who hadn't been intimate with his wife in over 8 years. Viagra had stopped working for him, and he was desperate for help. After several treatments, he walked into my office and told me he couldn't believe the results. Needless to say, this was a very happy man. This man made me a believer in what we do. He had taken pills for years, but he had never fixed the problem. When he came to us, we fixed the problem. Our treatment does what no pill can do. So give West Coast Men's Health a call today. Speak with our clinic manager. Ask him any question you like, how it works, the science behind it, and even the cost. Change your life today like the thousands of men who already have.
In addition to treating ED and Peyronie's disease, we now offer testosterone replacement therapy. With clinics in Redmond and Tacoma, call 206-519-6541. 206-519-6541. Online at westcoastmenshealth.com.
The idea of push-starting a boat just doesn't seem right to us here at Pacific Power Batteries. A marine battery should just plain work every time. Let us help you with selecting the right type of marine battery. Deep cycle, starting battery, AGM, or even lithium battery. You can start with our helpful hints on our website or just stop by and talk with us. Don't worry, you don't need to be a Marine to buy a battery from us. Get it? Marine batteries? Pacific Power Batteries. Come into a business with a soul.
Patrick was way behind on his IRS taxes.
I was in way over my head. The total amount ended up being somewhere just over $30,000. $30,000.
Then the IRS came to collect.
Started getting letter after letter. A lien had been filed against me. They were going to basically hang me completely out to dry.
He had to do something.
That's when I reached out to Optima Tax Relief.
Patrick's life quickly got a lot easier.
It was very easy, pretty much hands off. They picked up the ball and ran with it.
And how'd it go?
I couldn't believe it. I had to ask 2 or 3 times. I saved an incredible amount of money.
How does Patrick feel about Optima?
Couldn't be happier. They definitely helped me. Optima Tax Relief, the best place to call. They're the best in the business.
Do what Patrick did and call Optima Tax Relief for a free consultation. Call 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460. Optima Tax Relief. Testimonial from an actual client. Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Summer's finally here, and we're kicking it off with a whole lot of free. Free brake pads with Duralast rotors. Free oil filter with 5 quarts of oil. Free Armor All wipes with Armor All glass cleaner, and more. More free, so you can have more summer. Celebrate free at AutoZone. Now through July 27th. Restrictions apply.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Tired of hearing scary radio ads about the IRS? Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe